Frank Evie, you probably won't beat me, but bro, we can't be about no small shit. Overseas got the crowd doing mosh pit. Can't believe that I'm still in apartments. Businessman went and got me in the office. $1 million deals, I get them often. $1 was serving on Spar Street. All legit, he gon' stay with the chopstick. I got robbed, that shit made me a monster. He bitch noticed my sister, my mamas. Now they houses as big as they want them. I didn't run up no motherfucking commas. Look at Lil Donna. Living like we in a race, I might come in first and second, but I won't ever be last. Lately I been in my bag, but told me don't take my foot off the gas. They give you an inch, gonna take you a mile. I'ma shoot by myself like a technical foul. City to city, got girls going wild, and I reach for my chain when I jump in the crowd. Lambo Solo got a squad. We finally made it, let's pop us a bottle. I took the lead and let everyone follow. They know I'm running it right to the bank. They want me to ease up, I didn't leave them in the breathing room. Sorry, I told them I can't. Heard you a rat, so you know what's gonna happen whenever we catch you. I run with them snakes. Peep all the moves I've been making. By the time I get 40, I gotta be one of them greats. Watch how I move with this paper. I know if I slip on one time, they gon' try to come take it. Real as it getting, these niggas be faking. I don't want they vibes, so they hand ain't shaking. She on that 42 straight with no chaser. I'm trying to get out of here and go taste it. Yeah, my diamonds be VVs. They don't wanna see us on TV unless it's the news. I got something to prove. Yeah, I'm young, but got something to lose. In the street, I done paid all my dues. No extortion, ain't talking about literally. I be walking on beats, is you hearing me? I just pray that my kids be a bigger me. They can't get rid of me. My diamonds be VVs. They don't wanna see us on TV unless it's the news. I got something to prove. Yeah, I'm young, but got something to lose. In the street, I done paid all my dues. No extortion, ain't talking about literally. I be walking on beats, is you hearing me? I just pray that my kids be a bigger me. They can't get rid of me. Wake up every day, somebody harassing me. I got rich, they need money, they asking me. I was sitting in jail, they look out for me. Ones who need me, no same ones who doubted me. I been handling my own, they can vouch for me. They'll way down with me, know that she proud of me. Turn the heat up, ain't nobody hot as me. Everywhere dollars be, that's how I gotta be. I didn't gave her the word, now she not leaving. Say she love me to death, told her stop breathing. He try to do what I do, but we not even. I want all of the beef, I am not vegan. Boy, you said it was smoke, nigga, stop speaking. Vincent door drop the top, I can't stop speeding. Trying to see if this bitch hit the top speed. Hit the bitch from the back, have a knock. Call me baby ho, I control the rock. If the rap slow, I control the block. Yeah, I'm really it, and you niggas not. Got a couple coups, I can draw the top. I done made it, nigga, all these digits coming in. I'm saving for the bigger picture. No one day I need them, might as well get used to me. My biggest fear is ending up where used to be. Yeah, my diamonds be VVs. They don't wanna see us on TV unless it's the news. I got something to prove. Yeah, I'm young, but got something to lose. In the street, I done paid all my dues. No extortion, ain't talking.
Today, we're going to talk about Thursday night football, college football, and NFL weekend previews. And let's cash the squad ride. This is Behind the Lines. Bro, you're doing trick shot home runs from, by the way, a former Ray who couldn't hit shit. Now the Orioles got him. Now he's fucking Barry Bonds. Doing trick shot home runs, Goots. And you can't even get within 10 games of 500, but you can do trick shot home runs. Never seen that before in my life. That's the most Orioles shit I've ever seen.
How is Aaron Judge, the face of the league, Captain America, hopping on a plane before the game even ends? That doesn't make sense when it rattles around in my brain. To be honest, that pisses me off.
Actually, no way. Unbelievable rage bait. Was that a targeted attack? Why were there 20 people at once coming in?
Pretty good at it, you guys, not gonna lie.
I think I found somebody involved in baseball I hate more than Aaron Judge. This guy right here, this geezer, who thinks he's playing left field. Worse than a Disney adult. 4 straight years, Jovan. Look at this one. This one got overturned because he's diving over the... He almost fell on the field. What a loser. What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Thursday, episode 764 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you aren't tracking your bets on Pickett during this NFL and college football season, why don't you change that today? Start tracking your bets over there on Bookit Sports for tonight's Thursday night football game, or games plural. We got one college, one NFL. We are blessed tonight. Start tracking your bets over there on Pickett, the best bet tracking app out there by far on the App Store or Google Play. Jovan, showing some heart today in the hotel. Love to see it.
Yeah, Trent would never, man. Would literally never.
Nope. Who even knows if he's doing a surge today? We'll find out in a couple hours, I guess. W Chat, W YouTube, up and moving as well. We got all the YouTube goats in here. Let me hear you scream. We got Winky Binky. We got Roland, 69 Nice. We got Andrew, who's going to hate our Sharp report today, the NC State fan. We'll talk about it. We got Brian C. up and moving. What's up, Brian C? Dropping a resub to get the day started. Hell yeah, Brian C. Attaboy.
Go, Brian.
Attaboy. That's what I'm talking about, my man. JT Thorpe or Thorpe getting involved. Best show of the week. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. Big day today. We got a lot to go over, which means no bullshitting. And look at that. Death Taxes and Sade Whiteman coming in, dropping a 5-unit sub. Well, Sade, you are goated. You're goated.
Always sets the tone.
Come on, Sade. Come on, Sade. What's good, fellas? Would it be a crime to bump? I'm no police officer, Oaktown's finest. You do what you got to do, my man. You do what you got to do. Yeah, bump up that audio. Can we get a little audio bumpage going on here? A hair, Goots? That'd be great. We got a hype train moving and grooving. Sade, you're goated. We appreciate you, my man. Sade, you're him. If nobody's told you that today, this week, we want to tell you that. You are him. Coming in here every single day, dropping a 5-unit subway. Dubs. All right. We do not have time to lollygag today. No time for jokes, no time for fun. We're going to recap. We're going to do sharp reports for today. We're going to do college football weekend preview, NFL weekend preview. We're going to do squad rides. We're going to do squad rides for the weekend, hopefully, if we have time. So, W's. We got a first-time chatter getting a free sub. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's why we play the game. That's why we play the game. K-Baby getting involved, getting a subby from our guy, Sade Whiteman. We got Jay Gucci coming in here, giving out a subby as well. Let's go, Jay Gucci. Attaboy.
Good, Jay.
Attaboy. Come on now. All right, let's go ahead and recap because I got some bitching to do here. Not an ideal Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday nights. Shit play from both of us. We take full responsibility for this one. Shit play.
Yep, never had pulse. GG's.
Nope. Terrible play. Terrible play. I don't know what was worse, that or the first 5 over. Or actually, honestly, the first 5 over was worse. There was one run.
Yeah, they're both pretty bad.
Terrible.
Pretty bad.
Terrible. That's on us, guys. We have to bounce back today. We do not have a choice. We do not have a choice. We got Drew 0312 getting involved. Krabs, as much as you don't want to say it, has to be Bill. Less than rush yards tonight. Very popular play. Very popular play today. One of the more popular less thans I've seen on feeds in quite some time. Should be a good look. Should hit, right? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Yeah, Jovan is in the city with the fam this weekend. Rumor has it you're going to a Cubs game. People are talking.
Yeah. Rays are popping up there tomorrow.
That's what I'm talking about. Should be fun. Always fun to go to Wrigleyville. Always fun to go to Wrigleyville.
Moved on, though, because Shane Batt's pitching. So,
well, yeah, you might not get a win, but it
was a good try.
Should be a fun game. Should be a fun game. Drew, we appreciate you, my man. All the goats who have came in here and subbed early. Jay Gucci, Sade Whiteman, Brian C., Drew. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. You're goated. Okay? All right, let's go and recap the sharp report and see how we did overall yesterday. Jovan carried, backpacked, if you will. Only one loss on Jovan's card, and it was the fucking squad ride. So,
Duckington.
Yep, great call on the A's. And Shea Langoliers was probably the best call we've had in weeks. Holy shit. Lead off home run.
Second he went yard, they're never losing the game, unfortunately.
No.
Or fortunately.
No. And look, I could sit up here and make excuses about Jake Irvin and say it was fluky, whatever. It's just a shit square lost. If it loses, it's a shit square. If it wins, it's a great square. That's my opinions here. I'm not up here to make excuses for you guys. Sure, he pitched great for 5 innings. Sure, the Nerfy was free. Sure, the first 5 under was free. Yep. But not a good square. You know why? Because it didn't fucking hit. That's on me. That's on me. That's what I get for taking my nap.
Great square.
Right? Wow. Wait, what'd you say?
Logan Allen. Great square.
Great square, yes.
Fantastic
0 walks. 0 walks.
Sniff a walk.
Yes, I appreciate that. Okay. Not our best day overall, although Jovan actually did very well on the sharp report. So thank you for carrying. Not my best day overall. We knew that shit was coming after a 5-0 day. Okay, I'm only a human. I'm only a man. We knew that was coming. So, all right, let's lock in for today. We got a big day today. No steamed crabs today. We got to keep moving and grooving. Why don't we hop in and go ahead and talk about our sharp reports for a Thursday night? We're blessed with a great slate today. We got some baseball. We got a college football game, ACC, and we've got an NFL game involving my Commanders. So I got the Scary Terry shirt on today for a reason, and I believe he's a discount on Prize Picks today as well. Even I'm not crazy enough to fade that angle. Take that discount today. Terry's showing up. And Jovan shaking his head. We got Wake Forest +7. Love this play today. Probably the favorite play, honestly. We already talked about this yesterday, but Wake Forest +7 here. Nasty bet. Wake Forest barely beat Kennesaw State in week 1. And then week 2, I guess they did job, but they really have not played anybody yet. So I thought the spread would be closer to 9.5. I thought we'd be seeing a plus 9.5 here. And even if we did, I'd probably still be on it. But it's been a little too good for NC State so far this season as well, who had that crazy comeback win against UVA in their last game. I mean, in my opinion, if you're almost losing to UVA, you're definitely fadeable just in general. But this ain't Ma and Pa's UVA team. And that was a really good comeback from NC State and CJ Bailey. If only somebody put CJ Bailey on your guys' radar before the season started this year, it's almost like he's really fucking good. But look, in this game, Jovan, you can have no loyalties. You can have, got to have the shortest memory of all time. You got to have a memory like a goldfish here. And although I'm a big CJ Bailey guy, if the board's speaking to me, I got to listen. That's how we make coins. You cannot be loyal to anybody in this game if you want to make coins. It's all week to week. It's all game to game. Okay, in this game tonight, I'm liking Wake Forest here at home. I know they haven't played anybody yet. They almost lost to Kennesaw State in their home opener, and then they beat, Western Carolina, I believe?
Yeah.
Was who they played in week 2, and they put up 42 points. Honestly impressive, but that's a moose shit team. So, like the momentum we're seeing out of Wake, and what I really like here is the spot for the dog to keep it close. What do we know about NC State? NC State is like Virginia Tech. They melt when the lights are bright every single time. And shout out the raid coming in here from the Degen Squad. W's, party at 46. Holy shit. We got their own private room in the back. Let's go, Degen. Attaboy. Appreciate you guys showing up. Good luck tonight. Would love to know what Degen and co. are on for tonight in that Thursday night football game. Would love to know it. Wake Forest +7 here, guys. Nasty bet. It's an ACC game. These primetime ACC games, these weekday ACC games are always weird. They're always close. They're honestly always really good games, 9 times out of 10, knock on wood. So they were last year at least, and I think this one is the exact script we're going to get from last season, Jovan, where NC State's on their high horse. They're coming off that big comeback win against UVA. They're certainly going to be a little fat, happy, and complacent here. They're probably feeling themselves after 2 big-time wins to start their season now, and I'm sure CJ Bailey thinks he's him. Hollywood Smothers is him, but he won't be today when they're losing this game at times and have to go through the air. So I like Wake Forest here with the points. I like the under in this game. Love to see that total dropping from 56.5 to 52.5. Great sign here for the dog to cover, in my opinion, in what should be a grounded pound type of game overall until NC State might be down late. But we'll see if they even take a lead, Wake Forest. It might just be, a 3-point game the whole fucking time in a low-scoring affair. That's kind of what I'm expecting here. And I think Wake Forest catches NC State sleeping here a little bit. Talk about the ultimate fat, happy, and complacent spot. You come off that big-time comeback win against UVA, and then you got to head down to Wake Forest against one of the worst teams in the ACC? Sure. But this is the ACC we're talking about here on a weekday game, Jovan. These games are always weird, and nothing's going to change tonight. Give me the points. Give me Wake Forest. Give me the touchdown. We might need it.
Yeah, just might need it, and I'll join you with that. I fully agree with everything you said, and we were talking about it, I guess, the last couple of days, but this Wake team is not great. They haven't looked great so far this year outside of Damon Claiborne. Damon Claiborne's electric, and just like he did last year, I think he's going to tear them to shreds at times, but I also think as bad as Robbie Ashford is throwing the ball, Wake doesn't want to go out there slinging rock. That's not really the style of their offense. That's not Robbie Ashford's strength, and even with Hank Bachmeier last year, very obviously has little to no legs in his game. They won't really do that with Robbie Ashford in this game. They didn't really do that against NC State last year either. It's a lot of Damon Claiborne. So I think this is a ball control game for Wake where they're going to try and ground and pound, like you said, drain the clock, play ball security, especially against a big NC State team that's a little more physical than them. They're going to try and pound the run game. And I think Robbie Ashford, again, as bad as he is through the air, the element of having his legs involved, I think you're going to see that a lot as well in this game. And I think that helps him a lot, hot take there. But I don't think Robbie Ashford has to be Peyton Manning to control this offense and get points. So I think this is a good spot for them. Not to mention, too, fat, happy, complacent after last week. Yeah, but after the last 2 weeks, you had 2 very big emotional games, both at home that you edged out by a possession. Now you got to go on the road to a sleepy environment that's probably going to be jumping a little bit tonight, but it's still Wake. It's probably the sleepiest environment you're going to be going to, I guess, in all the ACC schedule. I don't know the schedule off the top of my head, but there's not many worse ones. I can tell you that. But tonight, get them ready. See, they're trying to cancel classes too. I don't know if that went through, but trying to get everybody there.
Okay. I'm assuming for tomorrow, right? They're trying to cancel classes for tomorrow?
I think for today.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, get him over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they care about going to games or not down there, but if there is a game they're going to care about, it's tonight. It's tonight, right? All right. When's the last time you both had the same bet on the Sharp Report? I mean, we kind of did yesterday, Brady, but I guess technically it was different. Yeah, we typically don't.
It's happened. It's happened sometimes.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
I think we had the Mariners or something like a week ago. They were air.
Yep. You got some nerve putting that Yankees play in there. I'll say it. You got some nerve. We'll come back to that.
Stress.
We'll come back to that.
We'll get there.
Okay. All right. We'll save that for last. Gross. All right. Swinging around, Gates. Got another play to go over here. How about the Commanders? They're winning this goddamn game, but I'll take the points. Not a heathen, not a caveman. I'll take the points. Give me the plus 3.5 here against Jordan Love and the Packers, who looked great against the Lions in the first half. And you saw the adjustments made at halftime. Jordan Love didn't do shit in the second half. Maybe because they didn't have to. Maybe because they went super conservative. Either way, I thought that was super weird. Let Jordan Love cook. Well, Jordan Love is known to make some great plays, and he's known to make some shit plays. If the Commanders' defense shows up like they did in week 1, this one might get ugly, if we're being honest here. You know what nobody's talking about, Jovan? Nobody's talking about Marshawn Lattimore and absolutely clamping up Malik Neighbors.
He looked vintage.
Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Interesting. And nobody's talking about the Commanders' defense. They're only talking about how terrible the Giants are. And I have a feeling we're going to talk about the Giants a little bit when we get to the NFL Weekend Preview. But nobody's talking about the Commanders' defense. They're only talking about JD5, who, to be honest, didn't even look that good in week 1, but looked good enough. Guy's a winner. And I'll take my chances here with the Commanders getting a field goal and the hook, which I typically don't do, on the road tonight in Lambeau. The Commanders have been road covering machines the last season and a half, and that's not going to change tonight. I think this game, I lean the under, but instead of going with this under, because we've seen a lot of overs and points in primetime games, maybe the NFL is on their shit this year, scheduling good games in primetime spots. I don't know. I'm going to sit this under out. But I'm liking the Commanders here to not only cover, but I do think they win this game outright. But I'll take the points here, guys. Why not? At plus 3.5 against a really good Packers team who I think has Super Bowl aspirations. When everybody's talking about Jordan Love beating the Lions, let's talk about this Commanders defense. It was the most impressive to me in week 1, and nobody's saying a peep about it. So give me the points. The Commanders keep this one within a field goal.
Yeah, I'll tip cap. I will certainly tip cap.
All right. Let's swing it around. What else you got over here? The Angels. Okay.
The Angels on the ML. Yes, catching some steam, which is crazy given how hot the Mariners have been as of late. Kind to, I guess, fortify that last wild card spot, even though a couple teams like the Rangers and somehow the Royals and Guardians are still kind of creeping, but more so the Rangers than the other two. But Bryce Miller, I guess we've tried to get sharp with him sometimes, and he's had some really weird starts where he gives up like hard contact for an inning, then he looks lights out for a couple, then he goes back, and he's never really found the consistency, or at least the second half of the season hasn't really found it. And I don't think the time to find it is now against the Angels team, which he could rack up strikeouts. Sure, he's not the biggest strikeout pitcher, but Angels matchup, I guess, calls for it, which is why you'll see plenty of that all over today. But regardless of what he does strikeout wise, I think the Angels are going to run into a few on the other side. Jose Soriano, I think, has a golden matchup as well, which he succeeded in the matchup. I guess he's had some in-between performances, but mostly succeeded in matchups like this. And I think not only this, but the bullpens on both sides are pretty gas. Like usually you would catch me on Angels first 5 in this one, but the Mariners bullpen, you use pretty much everybody except your high leverage guys yesterday. Like Munoz is available, Bizardo's available, Spire I think is available, even though he's terrible and he doesn't really have too much use against the Angels because the lefty and you really want the righties up there. But everybody else, gas for bullpen. So God forbid Bryce Miller gets into a little bit of pitch count trouble early with it. I do kind of think he does. The bullpen advantage is not as big as it usually is for the Mariners. So I think that's probably the reason why the line keeps ticking towards the Angels against this red-hot team. I think they're about to get going tonight and get to them early and late.
Okay. I don't know if I agree, but we'll see. Hopefully we can both hit bets in this game, and we'll talk about that a little bit more here in a second. Swinging around, Gates. The time is now. First 5 under 4.5. I think both guys shove. Soriano is coming off his worst start of the season. Bryce Miller has crazy squares up on Prize Picks, and sure, Bryce Miller has been fake sharp a lot this season. He has. but every single square up there for him today makes it seem like he's going to be just a cut above what he's done this entire season. And what better lineup to do that facing than the fucking Angels? So I like the first 5 under in this game. Some of the sharper, quicker moving books have this already down to 4. So grab this when you can at 4.5. But I'm not seeing runs. I'm not seeing fun early in this game. Maybe we see some splooge fest going on late. And hopefully the Angels come through for you late here. But I think this could be a 0-0, 1-0, 1-1 type of game early. And I think both guys on the bump overperform. Soriano, like I said, coming off that atrocious start. And you can only really take him on prize picks to be bad and take his more than our runs allowed. Goblin or Demons, you can't take his less than, which I thought was interesting. And it's always a great sign to see that up on prize picks. Whenever I see that for a starter, I think they're going to bounce back and pitch pretty well. So I like Soriano to pitch well. I'm with you on that. I actually do think Bryce Miller, though, and this is the first time in a month I'm taking him. I've been sitting out being good. I think he shoves tonight. I simply can't resist, and we'll talk about more Bryce Miller action here in a moment. But the strikeout square is crazy high. His pitching out square is crazy high. His fantasy score is crazy high. I like his less than hits allowed, and we'll talk about my favorite square for him in a moment. Okay?
Yep, let's go.
I do like Matt Gay tonight, Bronny James. That could be the real Bronny James. I do like Matt Gay tonight. I think it could be a field goal fest here at times, especially early. I certainly like him, and I was thinking about taking him on prize picks. I'm going to craft up some sort of lineup tonight, and we're going to sweat out this game tonight. Big game tonight, okay? There will be a Commanders lineup out and about. Okay, so stay posted. I certainly like Matt Gay to get involved in the offense after 0 field goals in week 1. Okay? Dubs. Swinging around. I cannot wait to hear this one.
Well, Krabs, I know you watched the first 2 games of this series.
Sure.
I know you did. And they were ugly. 2 absolute shit pumpings by the Tigers. And now I think that script flips a little bit. And I guess maybe you can compare this to the A's. Maybe you could even compare this somewhat to the Rays, or I guess the White Sox are doing to the Rays, because I feel there's similar elements from a couple of those games to this one. Not only do I think, they're going to bounce back and close the series strong, but I also think that they match up really, really well, especially against Sawyer Gipson-Long, who is going to be the bulk guy for this game. They're going to open with Torrey Holton, I believe, unless plans have changed there. But I think Sawyer Gipson-Long gets touched up by this Yankees lineup, which he struggled with power at times. He struggled with leaving stuff over the middle of the plate at times after 2 just games of damn near bagelry where they've gotten the shit kicked out of them. I think this is the perfect matchup for the bats. Hopefully not Judge. Everybody else, get Jazz involved, get Stanton involved, get Ben Rice involved. Everybody else can get active, and I think you will see multiple home runs lead to the short porch off of Sawyer Gipson-Long, and maybe even Holton too, because Holton's had some really, really bad starts, and they've tried opening him for somebody else, and it's turned out pretty poorly. Now, he's been good for a majority of the season, but there's stuff like this that gives me a little bit of polish, just like with Griffin Jacks yesterday. So I think this is going to be the same. I think the Yanks might be the team to put up 10 runs in this spot, unlike the script flip the last 2 games.
Okay. I almost said the under in this game on the Sharp Report. Doesn't mean it's a winner, but I don't like runs in this game. And I certainly don't like the Yankees. Not saying I don't like Yankees runs.
I wouldn't expect you to.
Just hate the Yankees, and I don't like runs overall in this game. So, sure, I'd rather take the Yankees team total in this game than the Tigers team total after the splooge fest in the first 2 games of this series. Sure. But, Jovan, the juice is loose on this under after a bunch of runs. You better hope this is like a 7-0 type game. 7-1 type game.
Honestly, it could be.
It could be.
It honestly certainly could be.
It could be. Okay. Yankees get their lick back. Looks free, right? Minus 165 at home here after 2 straight losses. Looks free. Okay. All right.
I just don't want to back. I don't want to back Schindler, because if there's any squareness to it, the second you back him, he's going to turn into the Turk that he actually is.
He is a sneak Turk. You're not wrong.
Sneak Turk, but been pitching well.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to agree to disagree on this one, as you'd probably expect with the Yankees here.
Yeah,
we got a couple conflicting
was not expecting
takes.
to have you on that one.
Yeah, a couple conflicting takes on the Sharp Report today. I got a little under action in first 5 in the Angels, although we could both hit that, hopefully. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Okay. You're dropping meat for the Yankees team total over. Should be a good look in a big game. At least it's not on national TV. Okay? You got that going for you. All right?
That's fair.
Look at this. Trent is celebrating that he is watching BTL for the first time in 2 weeks. Can we clap it up for Trent real quick? Good to see him in the BTL chat. Good to see Trent supporting his show on his own network. Good to see that.
You know why he's watching too? Because it's the preview, so he's trying to get his stuff for the weekend.
Yeah, well, he wants your place. He doesn't want mine.
Yeah, he certainly does not want the Krabs place. He's trying to sneak in Fugazi nuggets.
If I see Trent with a Commanders jersey on, I'm going to fucking freak out. People in chat are already saying that. Look, I've been here a while. Okay, we're going on like 4 years being involved with Bookit, maybe not full time, but I've been around the block. I don't think I remember a single Trent Commanders bet. Not one. I don't know if that has to do with me. I don't know if that has to do with just him not liking the Commanders. Sure, they've sucked the majority of my time here, right? I don't know what it is. And maybe it's a good thing, right? I shouldn't be yapping about it. I should be happy about it. But I have not seen Trent take the Commanders one time. He doesn't back them.
I mean, they've been nuck until last year, Krabs.
Yeah. They weren't nuck last year, though.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You remember that playoff game? It was kind of a while ago by now. You still remember that one?
Yeah, I remember. I remember that one almost as well as I remember the Eagles NFC Championship game.
Okay. I should be giving you more shit for that.
Yeah, you honestly should.
All right. Well, if you weren't so confident in your Bucs winning the Super Bowl this year, I probably would. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. W Sharp Report plays some interesting takes here. And Trent is dropping a lot of dots in the chat, which is giving me anxiety, making me feel like he might actually take the Commanders tonight, which is not cool. But we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm assuming he's doing Surge today, and if he does, we'll see what he's rocking, and we'll know.
Goots' team Sunday night, Josh's team Monday night, and his team Thursday night.
Trent on a road dog in primetime. Give me a break.
That would be a first.
Give me a break.
That would be a first. Somebody call Guinness. Get him over here. We got a world record. First ever Trent backing a dog on the road.
Yeah.
I want to say one more thing here before we move on to the Prize Pick Squares here. I've watched a lot of Commanders games in my life. A lot. And I've seen the worst. God, I'm a fan of some shit teams, man. It sucks. But there's something about this squad, Jovan. And I never say this. I never believe this. I never talk like this. Because you know how my brain works. I'm so anti back in the hot hands. It's just not how I roll. Right? I'm never saying a team is good from last year is going to run it back and be good this season. I'm never saying, oh, a guy was a star last year, he's going to be a star this year. You know how I roll. You know how my noggin works. But I'll tell you what, and I mentioned this earlier this week, and I want to bring it up again. Sometimes in sports, very rarely in football, more in baseball, but sometimes in sports, there's just shit that makes sense that keeps happening, and it's very rare. But sometimes you can't be contrarian in every sense. And I'm starting to get a good feeling. And maybe I'm lucky. Maybe I hit the fucking lotto here with JD5 and Dan Quinn and co. It's starting to feel like it for me. I feel like this team is different. JD5 didn't even look good in week 1. Still won by, double-digit points. Wasn't even fucking close really that entire game. And I'm starting to feel different.
Krabs.
Even with that Jovan smirk on the show. I don't give a fuck.
It's like, why would you say that right now, dude? Before
There's
the game.
something about this team.
It's week 2.
I'm confident.
Week 2, and you're betting on the commies, dude. Why don't you just let them splooge before you say that?
I'm confident.
Okay.
There's something about this team, man. They're different. And they're going to show you guys that tonight. They're winning this game outright. You heard it here first. Okay? Let's move. You can hate and make fun of me all you want tomorrow or next week on the show. Please do. Keep me in check. But when they win this game tonight, I want some fucking props. Because I'm putting meat on tape for the Commanders tonight.
I need you to
Deal?
Get one. Yep. Deal?
Okay. All right. Now, Rad, your Sun Devils actually suck. They might lose this weekend. We're going to talk about that game. They might lose to Texas State this weekend. People forget that.
They ain't covering. I'll tell you that. But
They're certainly not covering those 2 tutties.
If Rav loses that game, I will never let him hear the end of it.
I'm pretty sure that game is on my weekend preview. We'll talk about it.
It was very close to being on mine, too.
All right, we'll talk about it. Guys, you're about to learn how legit Jaden Daniels is tonight. If you don't already know, you're about to find out on primetime tonight. Ice in his fucking veins. You hear he turned down over 100 interviews in the offseason? He's not fucking around. He wants to be the best quarterback of all time. Not saying he's there yet, but his head's in the right spot. He's different. And for the first time in my life, I think the Commanders got something going, my man. Makes me want to shed one fucking tear. Something different about this guy, man.
I'm hoping for you.
He might be our savior. He might be our savior. Okay?
Also, all the people in chat saying don't say this because you said this about other teams. Krabs has already said this about the Commanders before, so it's not new.
Yeah.
Not new.
It's fair.
I've been saying this since the end of last year. I learned my lesson early on last year. All the hype was fading the Commanders, taking the Giants plus 1.5 week 1. I learned. He's doing stuff I've never seen a Commanders QB do in my lifetime.
Win?
Yeah. Win. He's doing all the right things. And if you guys aren't on board yet, you will be after tonight, and there's plenty of room on the Commanders bandwagon. You're going to want to climb aboard because people aren't talking about this enough. The best rookie season of all time for an NFL QB last year, and nobody talks about it. Nobody cares. The best QB rookie season ever last year. And I'm the only person bringing it up. Ever. It was. That's the furthest a rookie's gotten in the postseason in NFL history.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a shit. Sure, we got skunked by the fucking Eagles. Nobody was beating that Eagles team. They beat the Chiefs, who were fade-proof. Nobody was beating that Eagles team.
12 racks, by the way. Just had to slide that in there. 12 racks, Chiefs.
There's something different about this guy. I'm so bought in. And if you guys are against me on this one, if you're against JD5, if you're against the Commanders, you're about to learn tonight. Best rookie season ever. And the guy still isn't getting respect around these parts. Makes me sick. He's him. Don't fade him. Because he's about to be him again tonight. First time in Lambeau. He might do a Lambeau leap. He might. All right, let's move. Let's talk about some prize pick squares.
No way Trent has 2 whales. 2 whales, and if he goes 0-2, he has to wear a dress in the next episode. I am dying to hear what those whales are when coin toss drops today.
All right. W coin toss. Is that confirmed dropping later today?
I would think so.
I hope so. Should be.
Yeah. How did you
roll,
Rav? They all predicted what my whale would be too. I guarantee you don't know shit. I guarantee you are nowhere close to the whale. We'll talk about it today when we get there.
Sure. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Guys, I'm a huge CJ Bailey guy. I put CJ Bailey on the map. I have him in my top 10 QB rankings, and you guys all laughed. Well, he played like a top 10 QB in the first 2 games of the season. That's for sure. But like I said in the beginning of the show today, you can have no loyalty in this game. If you have loyalty, you're fucked. You don't even have a chance. Short memory like a goldfish. Like from Ted Lasso. It's one of the only quotes I like from that show. Like a goldfish. That's how you win in this game. And CJ Bailey, Jovan, has some crazy squares up there today. They make it seem like he might not make it through this whole game. They might not score any points. Not what I'm just saying. It's what the prize picks board is saying. Go look at all of his squares for today. Looks like the guy's not going to do shit. I'm scared for my guy, CJ Bailey. I think he has the first bad game of his season tonight on the road in the ultimate fat, happy, and complacent spot for the Wolfpack. I'll take his less than half a rush and receiving touchdown after he's been an absolute menace, not only through the air, but on the ground so far this season. This square will be one of the most popular squares of the day by the time this game kicks off in the college football popular tab. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Go look at the chart. It's extremely green. Because CJ Bailey's him. He's mini Lamar.
Yeah.
He's Lamar. He is. He's goated. Not tonight. Not when I love the under. Not when we love Wake Forest. He ain't scoring one. He might pass one, but he ain't scoring one. And he's also not passing two because they have a crazy 1.5 passing touchdown square up there as well. So he might pass one, but he ain't passing two and he ain't running one in. Okay?
Yep.
And then Bryce Miller. This might be where I lose Jovan, but I'm going to give him one more chance. I've been waiting very patiently for over a month to back Bryce Miller again because he's been fake sharp a lot this season. And I think this is the perfect spot to back him to bounce back. His strikeouts are insanely high for how he's been looking. He's been so bad. His pitching outs is high. All the boxes are checked when I try to back a pitcher on Prize Picks, and you guys know that's my shit. So I'm backing Bryce Miller to shove, and I just hope your Angels have a comeback late in this game and get you a big-time win. Okay?
Yeah, just got to hope the Mike Trout narrative doesn't come to play.
All right.
He's on the longest homer drought career.
Oh, boy.
And what do you know? He ends up back in the road stadium he owns.
Oh, boy.
Right in the middle of it.
He does play well.
So hopefully for your sake, it's just a solo that goes.
Okay. Yep. Certainly scary. Certainly scary, but I trust. I trust my pitcher squares on Prize Picks more than I trust anything in my life.
No, it's fair.
They hit.
That's fair. You earned that.
They hit. Let's move. Let's groove. Excited to hear your sell jobs on your squares as I lock it in and drop the link in the chat. Let's hear it.
It's the entirety of last year's game. It was a little different because they weren't able to game plan for it, but because I think this was the game that Grayson McCall got hurt, like the first drive, and CJ Bailey played the rest of it, but they spied CJ Bailey the whole game. And I think now, too, especially with how they've looked, and it's against shit teams, obviously, Wake, but they've been pressuring the quarterback a lot. They've been sending a lot of blitzes. They're going to send, I think, at CJ Bailey, along with having a spy on him at times, which means I think he's going to have to get the ball out much quicker than he's had to against, ECU and UVA, who don't really send much pressure at all, which means Hollywood Smothers, as good as he is on the ground, I think he's going to have to do a lot in the receiving game tonight. So he's a big play threat. So, hopefully for Wake +7, he doesn't break one off for too long, but I do think he's going to have to get a couple of catches. And CJ Bailey, again, he was able to kind of sit back and diagnose everything in the first 2 games because teams were playing pretty deep coverage on him because they wanted to keep everything in front of him. I don't think Wake's going to play him like that, which more times than not, I think is going to end up pretty poor for the downfield game. But for Hollywood Smothers, I think that sends his volume up a ton, especially if he's not getting going in the run game, which I think is very possible. So give me the receiving yards, and Bill ain't getting 41 Krabs. Simply.
It's just disrespectful making me lock that in, I'll say it.
Well, I will be 100% honest with you. If this other square was up at the time we were putting these in, Jose Soriano fantasy score would probably in there.
Wow.
But
fuck,
Bill ain't getting 41.
You want to switch it?
For your sake, tailing, you can have that. I already got this locked in now. But he ain't getting 41. He had the 42-yard run against the Giants, who, for as long as we've known, have struggled with explosives on the ground. So, this is a much different matchup, obviously a much better front. I think this is, no secret. Everybody loves it. It's a lot more of an Eckler game because you're going to need him in the pass game. You're going to need him in pass protection as well, which you're talking about this defensive front. I think that's the biggest thing of anything. If you're throwing the ball, especially, you're going to want the better pass blocker in the game, which is Eckler by a fucking mile. So I think the snap count is going to be much different along with the game script. Even if they're up, I don't think they're going to be up by 2 touchdowns the entire game like they were pretty much against the Giants. So I think this is a lot different of a look for them.
Yeah, Bill's got a tough matchup tonight. And again, when people are starting to say Bill is, going to be the fucking next starting running back of this team, guys, I'd be shocked if anybody is the starting running back of this team. Have you not looked around the league and seen what's going on?
There's not too many starters out there.
You could count on one fucking hand the amount of bell cow backs there are on the NFL in the Big 2-5. They don't exist. You know why? Because they get hurt. And they're trying to preserve these guys, not only for the whole season, but for the playoffs when it matters. So, they're going to use all 4 guys. Week 1, C-Rod was inactive. Tonight, McNichols might be inactive, or maybe they keep C-Rod inactive once again. And they're going to keep rotating, and they're going to use these guys equally because they believe they're all four great and all have a little bit of different skill set, but depends on the matchup. And they're going to call one guy or sit one guy, make him inactive, and they're going to call, the other guy up based on the matchup they have tonight. And yeah, sure, Bill does not have a great matchup. It might be more of an Eckler receiving type of game in the Commanders' backfield than it'll be a Bill rushing game. But I can't tell you I'm not a hair nervous watching Bill run, because he looks like the best running back we've had since Alfred Morris. He runs hard.
Yeah.
He runs hard, and he's blue collar, and he's got heart. So he's certainly a Krabs guy. But I understand the square. It's probably sharp. Okay? Taking the POD.
He's on his under or his over?
POD. Bill under rushing yards.
Wow. The way PODP is fading you too.
Yeah. We'll see if you guys know ball.
We'll see.
I'm going to lock this in because I tail the sharp report format every time. I'm going to trust. Okay. Yeah, I like Eckler receiving, guys. I would take his receptions, although there's certainly push potential. So maybe the receiving yards is a better play, but we can talk more about that a little bit later if we have time. All right? Duno is asking the right questions in the chat as well while we're talking football. He's asking about the PLL championship. Big-time game on Sunday. Guys, I know there's football on. I know you're all excited to watch some football, kick the feet up, crack a beer, get some DoorDash and or Uber Eats and lock the fuck in. I understand. But I'm going to spoon feed you guys a winner in the PLL this weekend. And if you don't like making coins, if you don't like hitting bets, that's on you. We cannot be discriminating in the sports that we're making coins on in the Big 2-5. I'm going to spoon feed you guys a winner in that championship game, but I need to lab it up first. I'm not going to force you guys to play right now, but man, I'm excited for that PLL championship on Sunday. I'm excited.
Outlaws, Broncos, 2-piece Denver lay.
Ooh. It does feel like it's meant to be for the Outlaws, and the Atlas always find a way to fold. They have yet to win a championship. But man, that goalie is good. The Great Wall on the Atlas has been carrying them, bro. Okay. We'll talk about it. Do know in the chat. Don't worry. I will have a video up this weekend with a play, and I will be talking about that PLL championship all on my feed. And I'm sure Ron has some plays already locked in as well. Okay? Let's move. Let's groove. What are we going to go over now, guys? I'm assuming the college football weekend preview?
Yep.
Let's get to it, boys. Yep. Jovan, do me a favor, if you don't mind. Go first and go over your snooze fest while I lock in that sharp report format and put the link in the chat.
Okay. One of the biggest, the biggest game of the weekend, Georgia, Tennessee. This game is going to be defensive slugfest, and that's not a hot take. You would kind of think that looking at these two teams, but I've been fading a lot of the newer quarterbacks. Haven't really had the chance to do it like with a G5 quarterback against like a first-time big-level defense yet, but it's mostly been like a lot of the younger quarterbacks, new situation quarterbacks making tough starts on the road. This one's at home, but I think it might be just as tough going against this Georgia defense. And again, as good as Joey Aguilar has looked against two horrid defenses, one in the power conference and one not even at the FBS. Yep. Nico did the same thing last year. So slow your roll. I'm with you on Joey Aguilar. I do think he's a little better, a good bit better than Nico, but at the same time, this is his first like big, tough matchup in a power conference, and you get the Georgia defense that nobody's really impressed by this Georgia team right now. And this is a scary spot because this is where we talked about like his dad making comments. Like you have that, and you have the fact that nobody really likes Georgia right now. When you give Kirby an inch, he takes a mile. Anytime he has a chance to make some sort of assumption or make some claim that they're getting slept on, they're getting disrespected, the dog, they come out and punch you in the fucking mouth. And I think it's not going to be any different, at least defensively in this game. On the other side, I do think they're going to try and just be more physical than Tennessee. And I still really don't trust Gunnar Stockton through the air. I think he'll get better as the season progresses, but we haven't really seen it yet, obviously, at a level that makes me comfortable. I think this will be a game that's probably won on the ground with a lot more Nate Frazier than I guess with Gunnar Stockton just being Peyton Manning sitting behind there, no pun intended. But this game feels like just a defensive snooze fest where it's going to be a lot of ball control, a lot of punting, just hard-nosed defense where you're playing man on both sides, and both quarterbacks haven't shown really the ability to do anything against it just yet. So 2 great defenses going at it.
Love this under. Want to get that on record first off. I will say this game and the Georgia Tech Clemson game are making my brain hurt. I feel like I'm shorting out because it's like, Sharp obviously is the home dog, but it's also like popular and trendy. So it's making my brain hurt. And if you look at the prize pick squares in this game and that Georgia Tech Clemson game, that's also making my head hurt, man. So like for this game, for example, we don't need to talk about the Georgia Tech Clemson one yet, but for this game, I agree with you. I think this is a Gunnar Stockton, put your head down and run and get your fucking yards, and I like his rushing yards. But if you look at the prize pick squares up there for him, he's got that passing touchdown square. He's got a high-ass passing yard square. And although I like the under in the game, that certainly concerns me. Maybe they'll be losing at some point. Maybe they'll be stalling out and settling for field goals, right? I like the under in the game because it's one of the biggest games of the weekend on national TV, and you don't have to tell me twice. Betting an under there in that game, in that spot, okay? Especially after how good Aguilar's looked. I'm with you on that. I'm an Aguilar guy. But I like this under with you. But I cannot ignore the squares that are on prize picks that certainly concern me a hair in this game. We'll see how it plays
Gunnar
out.
Stockton's, I guess, look a little more concerning. Aguilar's are, I guess.
Aguilar's look good for the under.
Yeah. The fact that he's a demon for 1.5 touchdowns is absolutely laughable and insane.
The most popular square. I know it's early. Yeah. But you're right. You're right. So the Aguilar squares look good for the under.
Yeah, his support him a lot more than Stockton's, which
Stockton scared me a little bit, man.
Yeah, understandably so.
But maybe they'll be losing early and they'll have to be coming back and he'll have to be more effective through the air. Just I'm with you. Like I think he's gonna have to use his legs in this one. That's what he's best at. And if they want to win this game, you're gonna need to ground and pound and turn into fucking Haynes King. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I still like this under. I still think it's hitting. You don't have to tell me twice on a primetime big game under. Okay.
There we go.
The link to the Sharp Report 4-man is in the chat. Sorry that took so long for me to lock in. A couple different sports. So I had to scroll through and lock that puppy in. There it is. Boom. Get involved if you want to tell the Sharp Report 4-man in the chat. It's lurking on Twitch. Okay. We got True Tyler up and moving in the fucking Twitch chat. Dropping a resub. Let's go, True Tyler. Atta boy. Appreciate you, Beast. He says, tell Goots I'm Goots on ground at Camden for the Bucks and the O's. Bucks, I'm out.
Thank you,
since
Goots.
you subbed, we'll take a peep at this game. And Goots, would love your thoughts here. Although I think Goots is trying to black out the Orioles just in general and keep them off his brain. Love to hear the Goots POD in this O's game.
Breaking news, I guess. I didn't even know this. They quietly promoted Mike Elias to president in the winter.
Okay.
And they're searching for a new GM to be under him now.
Ooh. It's one of those fake promotions.
Really not too sure how I feel about that.
We like you, keep you around. We'll give you that name promotion, but at the end of the day, he's going to have less responsibilities. Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Now, what does that have to do with this game this afternoon, Goods?
Well, honestly, I think Pirates win.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there it is.
4 straight walk-offs for the Orioles, first time in history of the franchise.
No way, it's 4 in a row.
4 in a row. Got one on Skeens yesterday because of his pitch count. He was only at 64 pitches in the 5th inning, so that probably would have went 8 if he wasn't on a pitch count.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's simply just that we're not sweeping the Pirates. That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, keep thinking.
I knew it was 2.
Man.
4.
Did you know it was 4?
4 in a row.
I didn't know it was 4.
4.
And this is the same
That's
team
insane.
that they went the longest streak in this, of the season, not
without
getting
having one. Yeah.
God, that's baseball right there, isn't it?
Unreal.
That's baseball. W. Goots Nug. Okay. All right. POD for Goots today. Goots POD is the Pirates. Let's see if he can stay undefeated. Okay. All right. Jovan, have you seen this total dropping in your – God, you're like Dave in the NFL, man. You got 7 college football teams, man. Here's one of them for you, Cal. Have you seen the total in this game dropping from like 50 to 43.5? I know you're a big fan of this Cal QB, and honestly, so am I, although I need to see more tape on him against some solid defenses, and this will be a really good test. But how can I not root for that lefty with that crazy name, in general, just not this weekend? Because I do think this game's going to be a snooze fest. I think this is going to be a perfect under scenario here. And I've actually already locked in this under because it keeps fucking dropping. I was doing some research this morning, and the total was dropping like fucking flies still, down to 42.5 some places. So I locked in the 43.5. I still like it at 42.5. This total has dropped from 50 to 42.5. And it looks like the sharpest under on the board, guys. You got to keep the blinders on. You can't keep your biases or guys you like in mind when you're trying to lock in winners, because if you did, I would not be fading the Cal offense right now, although, I probably wouldn't mind fading Ron Rivera. Okay, and this is kind of a sneaky way to do it, taking the under in this game. But Minnesota's coming off a 66-0 win in their last game. And then they beat Buffalo in a little bit of a closer matchup in the first game of the season. They're 2-0. Cal's also 2-0. And they're coming off a great defensive performance. Honestly, their defense has impressed me this season.
Dude, the defense is good, dude. Their
secondary
is always good. But they got playmakers, man.
They got guys. And Jovan knows this is one of his favorite teams, one of his 10 teams. Look, Darius Taylor's going to run the shit out of the ball in this game. The clock's going to be ticking the entire game. Let's just hope he doesn't break one. Okay, but there's a reason why his fucking rushing yards is at like 100. They're going to give him the ball 20 times in this game, man. That's the only chance they have. Do not trust that young QB who's already kind of sketchy for Minnesota in that backfield. Do not trust him. If they do, this game's going to get really ugly. Do not trust Lindsey in this game. Feed your guy, Taylor. Feed your guy, Taylor. And then on the other end, this is the first big test for your guy, the Cal QB here in this game, and I think he struggles a little bit in this one. Maybe he's not, atrocious. I still think Cal could potentially win this game. I'm not fading your boys. I'm a sucker for a +2.5 spread. But this is the sharpest under of the week. This is the first real test for this Cal offense and the young QB. And this Minnesota defense is good. They're good, especially that D-line. And Cal's going to have a really tough time running the ball. They're going to try because the running back's coming off a legacy performance. We're going to talk about that more in a moment. So they're going to try, but they're not going to have many success or much success running the ball in this game. The clock's going to be ticking, though, a ton, especially for Minnesota running the rock a ton. And this game is going to sneak under. Crazy, crazy line drop with this total. Have to lean into it here. Have to.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Minnesota probably wins, which would be great for the under.
It would be great for the under. Feed Darius Taylor, who's an NFL RB. Feed him. Let's hope he doesn't break one. That Cal defense is good enough to hold him up. Keep him out of the end zone. I think they are. Okay. Yeah, Brian C. Look, I'm not fading my guy Dalen Lyle, who he honestly should start getting Rookie of the Year talks. I'll say it. But guy can fucking hit. I won't be fading him, but Brian C., I certainly won't be taking him more than on that green square. I see it. All right, let's pick up the pace a hair. We got to move and groove and talk about an over. Told you guys I'd talk about this one, and here we are. I think Texas State covers. Rav, you are on upset watch in this game. And I think Arizona State's offense, coming off that loss, I think they show up in this game as well. And I'm not a big Levitt guy. I'm not a big Arizona State guy, but I do think this game soars over. I think both teams play a part in it, and we're seeing this total, one of the rare totals this weekend, moving up from 57.5, which is already high as shit, to 59.5. You're going to see this total. It's in the 60s this weekend. So lock this puppy in before it gets that high. But Texas State, what do we know about them, Jovan? They can score, and they don't play a lick of defense. So if I'm going to square up at all this weekend, it's going to be with the shootout here category. And I think Arizona State coming off that embarrassing loss, that walk-off, I think they put up a 40 spot here in this game as well. It just comes down to Texas State. Do they match them? I think they put up at least 30. I think we get an absolute shootout in this game between two great offenses. Arizona State shows up pissed off at home. They keep their foot on the gas. Love back in that angle. I'm taking it over in a game, especially with the team coming off a bad loss. Foot on the gas, and Texas State can score, and they can keep up as well. They've scored nearly 100 points in their first two games of the season. There's a reason why this total's moved up this high, folks. Back the over.
Yep. Masterclass
Okay.
indeed.
Okay.
I went with USF Miami, which has also weirdly gone up about 4 points, I think, since the open, which was interesting. But I think, Alex Galesh, if you can tell, if you haven't been able to tell before the season, but that's kind of on you. But as you've watched the first couple of games, you can tell he's not an idiot. He's a smart coach. And the first two games, you really didn't need to play super aggressive because we talked about this, I think, yesterday or the other day or whenever it was. Maddox Madsen couldn't throw the ball. Lagway couldn't really throw the ball deep, I guess. And Florida was like super conservative on offense and nothing really got behind them. So the game plan on offense was very different. It was a lot of, Byron Brown run game, was a lot of stuff underneath. Miami, is going to come at you with the D-line, I think they're going to have a really tough time. USF's O-line is handling them, and that's not a hot take either. But they're also going to do a really good job at not letting Byron Brown beat them with your legs, which you'll get some at some point with that offense. But Alex Galesh, anytime he faces a defense like this, he comes out more on the aggressive side with downfield shots. And again, you didn't need that the first 2 weeks. You're going to do that. So I think this is a perfect spot for this USF offense to be a little more aggressive as far as taking downfield shots. And I think you're going to see a couple of those and a couple of those connect. But also Miami, I think, is going to tear apart this defense. Defense is good. They're physical. They play hard. But I don't think this is a level of physicality they can match. The Florida offense was very disjointed in a lot of different ways, which played right into their hands. And they played super deep like cloud coverage to make sure Lagway had no shots over the top. If you try that with Carson Beck, he's the one who can dinky dunk you to death. Like Lagway couldn't do that. Max Madsen can't do that. So I think as cool of a story as USF is, I think it probably comes to a crashing end in this game, but I do think their offense will be able to keep up. So over.
Let's hope Miami carries the weight here, but I could certainly see Byron Brown keeping USF in this game, at least in the first half, and at least putting up some points. I do think Miami puts up a big number. I almost squared up and put Carson Beck more than 2.5 passing touchdowns in the weekend preview, and I still like that square. I'll have that in something. That'll be on the meat sheet.
Take that square for sure.
That'll be a meat sheet square. And you know I hate taking more thans. I hate their guts.
Yeah.
But I thought about it, and I think Miami absolutely tweaks. I think I was wrong about Miami before the season started. Now, look, we'll see what happens when Mario Cristobal has to play in the postseason if they get there. But they might be regular season kings, Jovan. They might be. And Carson Beck is on a revenge tour. He's made that very clear when he was crying after the postgame presser against Notre Dame, making it seem like his life was tough. It's not tough, although he did get the boot from Georgia. Gosh, man, I still cannot believe he beat Notre Dame in that game. But yeah, it might be Carson Beck's season. Hate to say it. And I think Miami puts up a big, big number in this game. Let's hope USF hangs around.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Swinging around for me, Goots. We got some blowouts to talk about. Speak of the Devils. Perfect time in here. Wow. Also, give me one of these.
Yeah. Throw it up real quick.
Throw it up real quick. Yep. There it is. Don't be afraid to put a third one up in there. Don't be afraid.
One, triple knock.
That's the mutant frog. All right. That might be TCU this season, by the way. They might be feeling a little different this year. Miami. Guys, has a team ever won 3 straight games against ranked opponents when they were from the group before? I think that's the trend I saw all over my feed. I don't even know if people have done it twice in a row. And also, who made the schedule for USF? Jesus Christ. What are they trying to play, the hardest schedule on earth?
I guess. I mean, shit. Even if they get trounced, though, it kind of worked. So they got 2.
I mean, yeah, it's already worked. They're playing with house money this weekend. And you're telling me those boys aren't going down to Miami and have a little bit of fun this weekend? It's not a far trip either, right?
Well, yeah. I don't think they're going to be staying there for too long.
Wow. Yeah. How far is it?
It's
USF from Miami.
3.5 hour drive.
So they got to sit on a bus for 4 hours? Get all stiff and such?
I mean,
a flight?
They'll probably fly.
Okay. Guys, you're going to see your square buddies all over USF this weekend. I could just end the sell job right there. But this is going to be the square, fun play of the weekend. And unfortunately, I wish it wasn't the case, but unfortunately, the square, fun play of the weekend loses 80% of the time. Okay? I talk about square plays losing 60% of the time. The square, fun play of the weekend loses 80% of the time. And this is one of them here with USF. Party's over. Miami's good. The ACC is kind of good. I'll say it. I just squeak that in there as well. And Carson Beck is going to put up a legacy performance. In this game. Love that Carson Beck more than passing touchdown square. Love what I'm seeing on Prize Picks. I want to fade Byron Brown. I'll be honest with you. I want to fade him on Prize Picks. But maybe I won't, looking at your over in the college football weekend preview as well. But Miami opening up 18.5 in this game tells you everything you need to know. And I'm willing to fade the hot hands in the USF Bulls here and back one of the better rosters and teams in college football right now, and that's Miami. Yep. People are going to be talking about the Hurricanes after this one, if they're not already. Big game, square fun play of the weekend, USF, fade that play. and back Miami on the spread. They win this game by 20 plus.
Yep. I'm in on that, Krabs.
Okay.
On that.
Okay. Dubs. Let's hear about the Frogs, man.
Yeah, this one's a little simpler. Frogs, 3 first week of the season plan. UNC, FCS game against Abilene, then SMU. They will be getting bet on all 3 of those games. This one more so because thankfully they've had a bye week in between, so you're not going straight from that emotion C spot to an FCS game before like a big SMU game. But I think this one is tough, especially like for Abilene's offense that can't really throw. If you remember the name Stone Earl, he's their quarterback. He used to be at UNC.
How could I forget?
Yeah, he's got off.
With a name like Stone.
Yeah, their offense consists of, which is also crazy. The SMU's had 2 quarterbacks with the name Stone, first and last. But
yeah, what the?
It's crazy. But he's awful, and their offense can't really get anything going through the air. Their offense consists of like everything on the ground game, including his legs, which I think is a horrible matchup for TCU. Like if you want to throw against TCU, do it through the air, especially like with deep shots. That's really all you're going to be able to do. The run game's not going to find much success. So the fact they're going to do that from the start, or at least try to do that from the start, good luck. And I think this is a game where like TCU is going to be rotating a bunch of guys. They're going to be up $1 billion early, sure, but their depth is actually their strongest point that it's been at, honestly, since the national championship. And honestly, I think they might be even a little bit of a deeper team than the national championship team, who was a little better at the front. But I think they absolutely drop some duck in this game.
Okay. God, people are going to be hip to TCU here in a couple weeks if they're not already.
Yeah.
This team's good. We saw it first.
I'm interested to see, because I've been trying. We were having this conversation of what the SMU line might be.
Yep.
I think people are going to be a little surprised at that line when it opens. Some of my friends are saying it was going to be closer to pick 'em. I disagreed. I think it was going to be like probably closer to over a field goal than a pick 'em.
Okay. Huh. Well, let's get through this week first, and let's win by what, 40? That's what you're going to take here?
Pretty much. They're winning by 50.
All right. You don't think it's a letdown, or you don't think it's a look-ahead spot here for the Frogs?
It's a little bit of a look-ahead spot, but like when you're rotating in the guys, like it's a look-ahead spot for Josh Hoover in the starting offense. It's going to be playing for 3 quarters.
Okay.
Like I think the fourth quarter team is going to tear them to shreds, especially because like they have 5 running backs they're trying to rotate in, which all 5 of them can start, to be honest. So like I think they're going to dominate it. And I don't know if Abilene scores.
Yeah, I could see that because they're coming off a big-time upset as well in their last game against SF Austin. So at least that's a good spot.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And that Frogs team is moving a little bit differently in a big 2-5. All right. Let's keep moving to grooving, boys. What are we on now? Upset alert. I'm a little bit scared fading Jovan's preseason LSU play with that spreads that he loves, but I can't resist. I can't resist here, Jovan. I have to take DJ Lagway. I do think he's him. Getting 7.5 here on the roads in a massive, massive bounce back spot. Massive. They don't make bounce back spots like this very often. And LSU has been good. Maybe not elite, but they've been good. And they're coming off of 2 big wins. They took care of Louisiana Tech. Sure. They won by a touchdown against Clemson, but that was more like a lose-off. Who's going to lose that game? And it was Clemson who won that shit. That's because Dabo is their coach. Anyways, this is the spot I want to fade LSU. And I do not want to make a habit out of fading LSU this season because I do think Garrett Nussmeier is really good. And I hate fading great QBs in college football because you never know if they could just sack up and put 300-plus yards on the boards and get a big-time win. So I don't want to make a habit out of this, but I cannot resist this spot with Florida coming off that bad loss when they were minus 18.5 at home against USF. I have to back Lagway. I have to back Coach, whose back is maybe more against the wall than Brent Pry. And go ahead and cash the Brent Pry mention, but are there 2 coaches more on the hot seat, the Napier and Brent Pry? No. The answer is no. And if this guy doesn't win this game, he's in trouble. It's a big one. And man, who's making Florida's schedule the last 2 years? They have the hardest fucking schedule on earth. Crazy hard. But they're battle tested. And coming off that loss, Jovan, I'm sure they've been locked in more this week than they have been the entire offseason when DJ Lagway and co were getting slurped. It's time to lock the fuck in, Gators. And they keep this game within a touchdown against Brian Kelly. Things have been going a little too well for Brian Kelly, who I think is a shit coach in the spotlight mid-game on the sidelines. And although Napier's not a great coach either, DJ Lagway's a great QB, and he keeps this game within a tutty.
Sure. I can tip tap that. Even
Right?
though you see Trent's double-headed whale apparently is both the games on this screen.
Okay.
I don't know
And
why
it
he
involves
was
Florida.
Yeah, he's with you against me. It's kind of surprising, but I'm taking the Aggies plus 6.5 on the road. #FuckGoods.
Wow.
I guess after the first big game and a letdown spot, you'd think this is a pretty easy, I guess, bounce back spot for them, even though you're coming with a week separation here. And I've seen a lot of ND love in the feed, which I'm not too also surprised about, especially because Texas A&M is just like ND, like one of the teams that also folds when the lights get bright. And you saw that last year when the whole world was on Texas A&M in this game. They were laying, I think, 3 at home, and Notre Dame came out and beat them by 12 in a game that was super ugly, and they dominated defensively. But now something's a little off with Notre Dame, and I can tell you what it is, but it's a couple different things. This offense, one of the reasons why I like them coming into the year is because they gave the reins to CJ Carr, and I liked what he could do offense-wise as far as slinging the rock. Now, you watched the Miami game. What did they not let him do? Even when the weather got drier, they still didn't let him sling the rock down the field, and eventually, like he had to, and the offense looked fine. But when you're going against the Texas A&M defense here, which has had their problems so far this year with explosive runs, what are you going to do? You're going to run the ball, which is not a bad thing for Jeremiah Love and this offense to run the ball, but I think it holds them back from being what the offense should be with CJ Carr. So I don't think this is a good setup for an offensive game plan for Notre Dame. And on the other side, I don't think they're as physical. I guess this doesn't really have to go to the other side because the offensive line, I think, was a lot worse than I would have expected, and that's a great Miami defensive front they're facing, but Texas A&M one is not a significant step down, so I think they're going to have trouble not only in the run game, but especially in the pass game, keeping CJ Carr clean. Then on the other side, their defensive line was ghost against the run for a lot of times, which, I mean, anytime Miami needed a run with Fletcher, like any of the couple guys, it was like an easy 5 runs per carry, and it's not going to be necessarily the same thing. They'll adjust. They've had a week. They've had rest, whatever. I still think this is a spot where Texas A&M comes in and maybe shocks the world with a win here, and really shouldn't be that shocking, even if it's a close game, because we know all of these Notre Dame home games that are big games against shit teams. Home environment means nothing for Notre Dame. Really nothing. And dude can off all he wants, but he knows it's fucking true. They play like dog piss.
This you're not wrong, but this is a shit play, and I'm going to tell you why. Whose back is against the wall more?
I don't know if there's really either. There's an edge.
Notre Dame. If we lose this game, we're probably out of the playoff. And what happened in week 2 game opener last year?
They beat the shit out of them, did they not?
We lost to NIU home opener last year.
Week 2.
Is Goot spitting over there?
You know what that came after?
If you don't think, I mean,
that came after.
It's not going to happen again. They could cover, A&M cover, but they're not winning this football game.
I do think that somebody hits a game-winning field goal at the end of this game to win. So if that's Notre Dame, cool. If it's A&M, cool. But I do not think Notre Dame's winning this game by a touchdown. I'll tell you that.
All right, I'll tip cap.
POD potentials here?
No, I already gave the POD.
Yeah,
I'll bet on my team either.
We got like 10 PODs floating around now for Goots. We got to start keeping
55 Goots PODs.
Well, you just keep dubbing them PODs and not giving nuggets. So.
I know, because I think it's funny. I like bringing up the Goots POD.
I'm certain.
All right. Man, Jovan, you've come around. You've come around to, I know you didn't say it, but I'll say it for you. You're not very impressed with CJ Carr so far. It's only been one game.
No, don't say that. I like CJ Carr. I think when they took the shackles off come the fourth quarter, because they had to when they were trailing in scores, he looked fine. But in the matchup against Texas A&M, I think you can't physically do that from the start, which is the problem. I think you're going to get to halftime, and in that first half, play calling wise, is going to have to look very similar to what they did against Miami, which I hate.
Have you come around to Marcel Reeds?
A little bit.
It's my guy.
A little.
I like him.
I think
I like the A&M team.
Yeah, from this spot, it's more of like a Notre Dame's defense. I think did not impress me all that much. The D line, especially. Okay. I mean, they got minimal pressure, couldn't stop the run. So, like in my mind, that makes Marcel Reed's job a little easier. And he's looked good, albeit against shit competition. So I don't think he's going to go out there and drop 40 points or anything, but
yeah,
I think he's going to be fine.
You didn't love my A&M take when I had them in my playoffs, whenever those rankings. But things have changed a little bit. And everybody's got to be a little bit impressed with the Aggies so far. I know it's early, but how could you not be?
They were still in a dogfight with UTSA. It's like they didn't look that good.
Yeah. Okay. 2-0. They win this game, they're pretty much a lock for the college football playoffs unless they fuck it up.
A&M?
That's a big if. Yeah, man. That's a great start.
Jen, why did you have to say that? Why do you got to put that? It's a great start.
A&M has the whole SEC schedule left, Krabs.
God damn.
This game is huge, but it does not get them in the playoffs.
If they win this game, that's a big one.
They win this game, they still have to play Auburn, Florida, LSU, Mizzou, South Carolina, Texas. This game.
Well, those teams are frauds. I love their SEC schedule.
You love their SEC schedule?
I love it because they play a bunch of frauds. I do.
They play them on the road, though.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're frauds. This is why I had them in my playoffs. It's going according to plan.
So, who do you think are they beating LSU on the road? I think we talked about that. You said yes.
Yeah, they might. I think there's a better chance they beat Texas on the road at this point.
Okay, so they beat one of those two teams. They have South Carolina at home. They still have Mizzou on the road.
Would you say Vandy as well?
No Vandy.
South Carolina's a win.
South Carolina, I can respect that as a win. Mizzou on the road might be where you lose me.
That might be tough. Mizzou looks really good so far.
Mizzou looks really good. They still have that weird Arkansas game. I don't know. Is that finally at like the real site now? I think it is. It's like they actually have to go to Arkansas now in that rivalry game instead of Dallas. That's a weird game. Auburn's a weird one too.
Yeah, Auburn looks good so far. That should last. Okay.
No, it won't, but it's a weird game.
I am concerned about one thing. I know I'm very high on the Aggies. I had them in my playoffs. I got a lot of hate for that preseason. That's why I'm talking my shit right now, because I do think they covered this game with you. I agree, and I like this play. But there's one thing that worries me. And for some reason, there's a lot of weird squares up for QBs this weekend. Have you seen the Marcel Reed squares up on Prize Picks for this weekend?
I have not.
Scary.
Well,
not good.
Really, who I think is going to dominate this game?
Moss.
Le'Veon Moss.
He's him.
Which Rav probably just heard that and he's splitting. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be just him, but I think the run game, period, is going to dominate this one. That was probably my biggest takeaway from the Miami game. Notre Dame defensive line, Chris asked me, didn't call a great game.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll figure that out. Maybe he won't. But the defensive line was not physical whatsoever. And again, Miami offensive line is not everybody's offensive line. Same on the defensive side. But it was an easy 5 yards per carry every single time.
When the Aggies win this game, they're shooing for the playoffs. I'm standing on that.
Wow.
I'm standing on that. See how it plays out. Hopefully I'm jinxing it for your Irish. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's keep moving and grooving.
So you're telling me after this week, I'm done watching the Irish rest of the year. That's what you're telling me.
Dude, so you're going to be hanging it up just like all your other teams, brother. Bless your heart. I know, Goots. I'm sorry. Bless your heart.
Not happening.
You don't deserve this shit.
No, I don't.
You don't. You deserve better. Hey, Goots, all you got to do is say hashtag Natitude and you get a James Wood bottle.
We're past that.
That's all you got to say.
We're past that.
That's all you got to say. Okay. Let's keep moving and grooving. We got to pick up the tempo and pick up the pace. We got Tim Jib 33, who I think resubbed yesterday, Tim Jib, asking when the coin toss is coming out. I believe the coin toss is coming out tonight. Shout out Ethan, who's been grinding, editing these fucking coin tosses. It's not easy. He's doing it solo. Shout out Ethan. He
puts in a day shift every time.
Whole fucking day, whole night. Yeah, can we get some W Ethans in the chat? Please. He deserves it. I hope he's watching. And I hope he's been watching that Phillies-Mets series. He's a big Phillies fan. All right.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving and grooving. Hurry up. Go. Meat on tape. Vandy wins this game outright. Lenore Sellers is a fraud. South Carolina is a fraud. Little Beamer is not Papa Beamer. And Vanderbilt is actually him. The culture is completely shifted. And Diago Pavia, I'm done fading him. This guy's fucking goated. He might be an asshole. He might think he's fucking Tom Brady. You know what? At this point, he might be. He might be a short Tom Brady. Straight up.
Okay.
The guy's a winner.
Okay.
The guy's a winner, Jovan. He wins everywhere he goes. He won at the New Mexico Military Academy. He won when he went to, why am I blanking on it? Is it New Mexico State? He won in New Mexico State, and now he's winning at Vandy. And I like their coach, and I like their culture. A lot of weird-looking popular dogs this weekend. I guess you could loop Vanderbilt in there, although getting a lot of hate for this take already. Maybe it's just because people are laughing because they just beat my Hokies. That definitely could be it. But I think this is the one dog that comes through, and I think they win this game outright against the Gamecocks. And you guys are going to see the Gamecocks as frauds that they really are this weekend. Guys, it's as simple as let's bet lines, not teams. And Vanderbilt, the laughingstock of the SEC, is on the road to the 11th ranked team in the country, South Carolina, with one of the most overhyped QBs in college football, and they're getting 4.5 points. It's that simple. Bet lines, not teams. Spread up at 8.5. Now it's down to 4.5 for good reason. I think they went outright, but I'll take the points.
Sure. I'm in on that.
Okay.
I've got Duke for you.
We got Wags Locks coming in with a resub. Clap it up for Wags Locks.
Clap it up for Wags.
Let's go.
Clap it up for him.
Yep.
And I've got Duke for you. Kind of sniffed it out that it was going to be fake sharp. We talked about that last week in that Illinois game. You know, one of the reasons why it was fake sharp? Because this game was hanging in the balance for next week. What a fucking look-ahead spot that nobody mentioned, especially all the Duke bettors, was hanging for them for Darian Mensah with that huge game with Illinois. Well, you know what he was focused on? This fucking game right here, going to Tulane after that shit-pumping, horrific performance, which wasn't all on him. I mean, the defense was pretty bad and let Illinois cut through them like a knife through butter, but the offense really didn't get much going either for the majority of this game. And again, huge look-ahead spot that nobody mentioned, and now we're here. And now they're a short dog on the road against a very good Tulane team. But Duke is a much better defense than I think we saw them show last week. And I think it was just a team that was much more physical in them, wore them down all throughout the game. They hit their shots. And again, that Duke offense never really caught a flow against a much more physical defense as well. They was playing a lot of man coverage. The wide receivers could not get open. Darian Mensah really didn't have much of an option. He had pressure in his face a lot too. And don't get me wrong, Tulane, great defense, great coaching too. We hate fading someone at all times. But in this game, revenge is on Mensah's mind. He's going to get it, which is why I think the line is as short as it is. Because truthfully, it should be bigger favorites.
Wow. Okay. This game hurts my brain. I'm going to trust. Okay. And I love the sell job. And yeah, this is a crazy revenge game. Typically, I like siding with the team, not the player in a revenge game. But after hearing your sell job there on Duke, and I can agree, the line is maybe a little bit weird, but it's still big brand Duke against little guy Tulane, although Tulane's football team has been significantly better in our lifetime. So I'm going to keep that in mind, and I'm going to trust. I like the play. I like the play.
If you think there's not look-ahead spots in college football, boy, do I have news for you.
Oh, there certainly are.
Certainly are.
There certainly are.
Forget
they're just kids.
20-year-old kids.
And you don't think this kid wants to beat his former team and all his buddies?
You think this game meant or means nothing to Darian Mensah?
We circled this game preseason when we were talking about Tulane.
Yeah.
It's a big one for both these squads.
Huge one.
Big one. And talk about a GOAT, Mark Scar, getting involved, dropping a 5-unit sub whale. Let's go, Mark Scar. Attaboy. Let's fucking go, Mark Scar. Chat is active. They're up and moving. Yes, I was talking shit about Diago Pavia. I wonder why I was talking shit about Diago Pavia. Maybe because he's sucked the soul out of me, not in a good way, and destroyed my Hokies and any fucking hope I had for my team. That's why I was talking shit. Well, the home and away is over against Pavia and Vandy, and I've come around to respecting the kids. Maybe not off the field, but on the field. That guy's a fucking winner, and he gets it done. And yeah, I was hating on him. No shit. He ruined 2 seasons of my fucking college football team. He ruined it. But at some point, you got to tip cap and move on. And I was wrong chirping Diago Pavia. That kid is a fucking winner. Dude.
Yep. He's in a Terry jersey.
Oh, gee.
Where did he even get that?
When did he get that?
Did he sneak order that? I'll be having a talk with him on the search string. We're going to have a little talk.
Nah.
Trent trolls me so fucking good, man. God damn it.
Nah.
Trent just be trolling out here, man. He heard me fucking chirp him, probably saying he's never taken the Commanders, and he probably drove over to Dick's Sporting Goods and fucking bought a jersey.
DoorDash, Terry jersey, and Topps Chrome. At least I'm safe from the primetime Grim Reaper. So you can't take my team and get them mad because I'm fucking fading them.
First time Trent ever bet in the Commanders, and the guys bet on every game, every team. First time ever, and it's the biggest game of our fucking lives. Oh, all right. We got to keep moving, and we got to keep grooving. W Meat on Tape plays here. We have to sprint through these prize pick squares, Jovan, and I'm happy to get the party started. 2 running backs that I'm fading in bad matchups. I think Clemson sells out against the run, and they make Haynes King beat him through the air. And that's why Clemson wins this game, because the guy turns into Tim Tebow when he has to throw, respectfully. Bless his heart. Love the guy. Great heart. Blue collar, hardworking kid, says the right things. Kind of looks like Tressway. Not going to lie. That's probably why I like him. They're going to make him beat him through the air, and they're going to stuff the run. They're going to pinch. They're not going to let either Haynes guy run, Haynes King or Jamal Haynes. And I want to fade Jamal Haynes, who had like 115 yards against Clemson when he played him earlier this season, or earlier in his career, 2 years ago. The only other time they played him. Had 115 yards. Well, he had a 50-yard run in that game. So without that, it was definitely closer to this line, and it looks like one of the better-looking more thans on the board. It's also one of the more popular squares on the board, and it's green. So fade Jamal Haynes, and I got to fade Kendrick Raphael here, the NC State transfer, in a terrible, terrible script against Minnesota, Jovan. Minnesota, by the way, Clemson has a really good rush defense. They're ranked 29 in the country in yards per game. I know it's early, but they have a good rush defense. They always typically have, and they're going to sell out against the run. Cal has to play Minnesota, right? Minnesota has a really, really good D-line. And one of the better D-lines in college football that nobody talks about is Minnesota. And I think, once again, they're going to make the freshman, the lefty, beat them through the air. And I don't know how that's going to go. So I like the less than rushing yards after this kid, the NC State transfer, Raphael, had 120 yards on the ground last week. It's going to be much different this time around. That's why this number is so low. Okay.
Yeah. I also think, I don't know what Brandon High's status is, because he didn't play against Texas Southern. He might be back.
That'd be huge.
So, I mean, it's probably going to be a lot more of a rotation than it was
That
last
makes sense
week.
why this number is so low as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep moving to grooving. Great take.
Could be goated. Hawkeyes more. Goat. One of the reasons why I think it's going to be a little easier sledding for Duke in this game and for Darian Mensah is because I think the run game is going to be able to get going, which realistically, Tulane in these last 2 games against Northwestern, they kind of got it taken out of their hand because Northwestern was in a pretty big negative game script from the start. But they still broke off like a couple explosive runs, and they were getting chunk plays while the run script was still in there. Same goes for South Alabama last week. The run defense did not look great for Tulane, which is a shock because that's typically one of their strong suits. I think the same is to be had today or this week in this game. And I also think there's not a better buy low spot for a guy who this is where you're finally getting the game script. If you want to talk about game scripts in the run game kind of not going the way of the run game, like in Northwestern, Duke was getting shit bumped after a while last week. And I think Moore would have absolutely grubbed, even though it was a little bit tougher of a match. But if the game was a little closer and it was a different game, I guess, week 1, 2, when the script wasn't really needed. So now I think this is where you see him break off an explosive. And I think he's going to have a really good season. And this is the start of it. And people start to learn his name again. So I think it's more rush yards. And then Diego Pavia, the easiest way for a running quarterback to slow down a really, really good pass rush, especially if you're a guy like Diego Pavia who has designed runs in the playbook, is to break out those design runs, especially to the edge a little bit, which they found success against with South Carolina last year. They did it against a lot of the better D-lines in the SEC last year, and I think this is going to be key to the game plan because, realistically, Diego Pavia is not going to beat many teams, especially South Carolina, throughout the air. You got to get creative, and you got to go around this pass rush and that D-line somehow, some way. This is the way I think they're going to game plan of it and be super, super aggressive with his legs for all 60.
Okay. I mean, if they want to cover this game, I don't care how square it is or how green the chart is, he's got to use his fucking legs. Has to. All right, let's go to the NFL. Couple of honorable mentions while Goots does a segue here. I like Arkansas State getting 21 against Iowa State. Good sleepy spot there, fading Iowa State, who's undefeated and ranked. I like North Texas, who has moved from a dog to a -6 favorite. and I'm still kind of trying to figure out why. I can't find a specific injury. They got a couple guys who are hurt, but it's not like they're key players, which I thought was kind of weird. So, do you know why that line's moving so much?
No, couldn't really tell you.
-6 they're up to when they were +3 at home.
Honorable mention over for me in that game. Shout out Wazoo. They're back.
Hell yeah. Shout out Harry Potter.
Yep.
Okay.
Go.
Kansas State money line on Friday. Sorry, but it's probably going to hit. And then Southern Miss with the Marshall coach and the Marshall QB against App State. Very familiar foe there. Give me Southern Miss +3.
Let's go.
And a sneaky good game Saturday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll add on to that with Memphis. Fuck Troy.
Yeah.
Cute story. Over.
Okay.
-3.5. And Ohio State -31.5 against Ohio. Again, another cute story.
Yeah, big win Ohio's coming off of. Could be cut down and fade.
Yeah,
West Virginia.
Navarro's got a demon half a touchdown square on Prize Picks.
Bruh.
They ain't scoring.
Might have to take his less than fantasy score if they put that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk some NFL. Goots, run that shit. We got to get Jalen Hurts out of that fucking preview, Ed. God damn it. All right. Let's talk some NFL here, folks. Let's talk some snooze fests, some unders. Jovan, we talked about this one already this week. It has to be done. Great story. Aaron Rodgers, who I do think could lead this team to the promised land, and I think he's a petty motherfucker. And I do think that maybe the Steelers could be good this season, and maybe Aaron Rodgers has one more run at it. If anybody could do it, it's that petty muff. But not this weekend. Not this weekend. And it's a massive letdown spot here for the Steelers against, I think, a great defense this weekend in Seattle. A great defense to pick up in fantasy if they're still available in Seattle. They're going to show up. The total in this game is down to 39.5. Remember when everybody and their mother had the under in the Steelers and Jets game in week 1, and it was the highest scoring game, second highest scoring game of the weekend? #sorrygoots. I do. Well, we were 1 week off. Now we fade the offense, and I think Seattle's defense is underrated. Total's down for good reason. It's going to be this spot. It's a snooze fest, and I'll take the team total under and isolate because I like Seattle to win this game, and I never like Seattle.
Yeah, shout out to Seahawks. I'm with that.
Right?
I'll go with the under in, I believe, the only game, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, between two teams that both had an over in their game week 1, which is funny enough. But we've seen the same story with the Bills offense against the Jets. Obviously, new regime, but still like a coordinator that's had good success against this type of offense and Steve Wilkes. So I think he's going to shut down the Bills offense, and this is going to be a pretty close game. A lot of people love the Jets. Don't necessarily disagree, but I don't think it's going to be coming with the 32 points they scored in week 1. I think it's going to be a lot more of a ground and pound, play Josh Allen over the top, make him dink and dunk, make the run game work. And it's going to be a field goal fest of a game for a while, especially in New York, where, points are typically very, very hard to come by.
Love this out of you. And I think the Jets might win. I'll say it.
Yeah, I can certainly see it.
They're at least going to cover.
I mean, what a letdown spot potentially.
Whew.
After
what they did to Goots Ravens. Jesus.
Yeah.
Has to be done. Has to be done. Yep, Trent thinks he's dialed today. Should be a good look for the Commanders. Fuck. Keep moving. God damn it. I cannot believe he's wearing a Terry jersey today when I got the Terry shirt on. Terrible vibe. Terrible vibe. Shootout. Overs. Let me get the over, the square over we've been talking about all week in the Bengals and the Jags game. 2 offenses I'm very high on. Guys, look, the Bengals never play well against the Browns. And everybody's calling the Jags the dog of the week. I honestly like the Bengals to win. Honorable mention. Bengals lighting it with the ML or taking the spread. But I like points in this game. Total open up at 49.5. The under is a little bit public, which is hilarious. Did we get 2 unders from both these games? Did the Jags game go under, I believe?
Yeah, Jags
week 1? Oh, yeah, it did. The
only Sunday main slate over was the Jets.
Yeah. Crazy. This game's soaring, and it's going to be one of the best games, if not the best game of the weekend. I think both teams put up 25, 30 points each, and I do think the Bengals come out on top, but let's hope McPherson gets that leg loose. We need him for the NFL season-long Megalodon. But I do think if you look at Prize Picks, well, I don't think I know. If you go look at Prize Picks, the squares for both these QBs look great. Primed for some points. after some mid-week 1 performances. They both shine against some suspect defenses in week 2.
Sure. And on that, and then first of 2 times, we'll be talking about the Giants game here. Going with points. We all knew what happened or saw what happened early in the Cowboys game. It was kind of what we expected the Cowboys defense to be throughout the season. They were horrible, even though they played straight zone. I believe they were the only team in the NFL to not play a single snap of man coverage, which is borderline insanity. And that shows you what they're trying to do against Jalen Hurts. And they'll probably do something similar against Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson kills man not nearly as good as the Commanders did, a little bit of the same stuff for a while. And it worked. It's not going to work this week, though. Russ is going to come out and torch that defense, and I especially think, like Jalen Hurts, when he did take a shot over the top, they were open. He just didn't connect on very many, didn't take very many. He was scared to, and the play calling didn't really call for that. But now, Russell Wilson is quite literally there just to do that. So you're going to see Malik Neighbors, and even like some of the other guys, like you're probably going to see a Slayton Baum. I feel like he gets a big catch every time they play the Cowboys, especially in Dallas. I think Russ is going to be throwing caution to the wind because the matchup calls for it in this game, and Dak will respond. The offense looked great until it slowed down. It was the weather delay or whatever you want to say, but also like Dak had 50,000 balls dropped by CeeDee Lamb and the other receivers. Yep. They're going to catch those this game. This game's starting over.
Love it.
Yeah, no,
love that over.
Is also huge.
Oof, that is huge. I think the Giants cover as well.
Yeah, I do too, Krabs.
Oh yeah. All right, keep moving to Griffin. Go, 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 go. Texans ML.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to Monday. I didn't know we were going to Monday, Krabs.
Going to Monday. Going to Monday.
Oh my God.
Probably going to be the survivor pick as well. I'm riding with you on this one. You're right. Stinky, stinky line. Who the hell wants to take the Texans this weekend? Might be the least want to be taken favorite of the weekend. Is there another favorite that people want to take less this weekend? I've even seen some lines love. Not much, but
of course,
a little bit. A little bit. But nobody wants to take the Texans this weekend after your guy Ibuka turned into fucking prime. Prime Mike Evans, I guess, is a good comp there. He was fucking goated. Best player on that field. To be honest, the Bucs didn't even look that good. And they still won that game. Although Baker clutched up when need be. Yeah, they did not look good. No. Maybe it takes them a little bit to settle in here, which would not be new for Todd Bowles and co. Take the Texans. Take a hungry, I can't say hungry dog because they're a favorite, which is crazy. Oh, they are home. But the hungrier team here runs faster, and that's the Texans in this spot. 0-1. Back's already against the wall. People are already asking questions about Stroud and co. And he's going to answer those questions and silence the doubters this weekend with a big-time performance. Your guy Nico Collins is going to show up against that secondary that scares me a hair. And the Bucs, sure, they might go band for band at times, but I do think the Texans get a big-time win here. Love Houston on the money line. I'll be laying it against your Bucs.
Yeah, and on that, I'm going to go with the Lions. Kind of the simpler answer, bounce back, and you get a huge narrative with them going against Ben Johnson for the first time, but it's one that I will bite the bullet and go with and fire away because this Lions team, like, they looked horrible, of course, against a really good defense. I've been super high on the Packers all offseason before the Micah trade, before everything, and shouldn't be a hot take. Maybe it is. I don't know. But they looked horrible. And now you get them going against Ben Johnson, where you know they're going to be fired up and you know they're going to be putting everything on the fucking line, all the tricks out of the bag. And you can say the same for Ben Johnson. But if he wants to make everything complicated with the way Caleb Williams looked week 1, check down Charlie. He literally had nothing but check downs, inaccurate throws down the field, and then the sneak couple Lamar runs. You want to do that, try and make it more complicated from that. Have fun. That's not going to go well. Okay. So I don't really think it really works for him to get in this bag at this point. You got to make the offense more vanilla to forget and like kind of catch up. But I also think this Lions team is going to be a lot more physical than the Bears. I think D-Mott's going to have an absolute day with you there, one shot. And I think they're going to win this game by touchdown.
All right. Laying it. Back in the Lions to bounce back. And maybe Caleb Williams just is not that guy. All right.
I just think he needs some time to settle in. He looks like he's reading a lot of things in that offense. He's like going one read, and if it's not there, run freaking out.
He's Mr. Panic, dude. It's like,
dude, he panics so quickly.
It just looks like he has pressure when he doesn't.
No, like he runs himself into pressure and sacks like pretty often. It's like sit in the fucking pocket, dude. Just let it develop for a second.
Maybe he's scared to get sacked. Maybe he's soft.
Maybe.
All right. Let's keep moving to grooving. W blowouts, W favorites. Let's talk about some upsets. Triple reverse fade. Triple reverse fade. 2 words, chat. Triple reverse fade. Pulling it out. Undefeated so far this season, Jovan. Yep. The old triple reverse fade. One of the oldest tricks in the book. Guys, the Dolphins look so sharp that even the squares are onto it, and they're all locking in the Dolphins. So we're going to flip that, and we're going to take the fucking Patriots here, and we're going to take the +1.5 just in case there's any fluke shit late in this game. But spread's down from +2.5 to +1.5. I'm seeing some really shitty bettors on the Dolphins here. And I want to fade because it looks so sharp that people can notice it, right? The Patriots look so free that people are locking in the Dolphins after that terrible, abysmal Week 1 performance that now the squares are all in the Dolphins because it's so easily seeable and readable that we're actually going to do a triple reverse fade here and go back to the fucking Patriots. They win this game. Drake May looked pretty sharp in Week 1. Not a peep is being said about it. Dude had 300 yards in Week 1. Nobody gives a fuck. He did. He looked pretty good. And against this Dolphins secondary, my goodness, Mima or Peapock could go out there and put up 300 yards. Drake May is going to have a fucking day. This secondary is a problem. They're a problem. Triple reverse fade. The fake sharp POD of the weekend here in the NFL, the fake sharp dog, is the Dolphins.
I could be in on that. Wow. Is this, what did you say, the third triple reverse of the year?
Yep, 2-0.
My God.
2-0.
My fucking God. I'm with you on that.
Stay hot.
Then I'm also with you in a different way on the Seahawks because Reeve Trees can bitch and chat. It's always a personal attack, and you bet against your teams, even though they're fucking shit. But we'll be with it. They just scored a maybe career high at this point. I can't remember the last time I've seen the Steelers damn near score with 40 points. But now, off of the most emotional game you're probably going to have all year for Aaron Rodgers, where he beat his former team, and Rav got one in very nicely for him, you're going to come crashing down. And there's a reason why his total's down to 39.5. I don't believe in Sam Darnold. I don't love Sam Darnold, but I do think that offense kind of matches up well, especially in the play action against the Steelers defense, which we saw was a little more privy to it than you really would have thought looking at Justin Fields last week. So I think that's something that'll get better over the course of the season. But I think this is a bad matchup for him. There's a reason why the Seahawks are only getting a field goal on the road, cross country in Pittsburgh. It's because I think they're going to win this game.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm scared to push that button because I just think Sam Darnold is a dog shit QB. But, man, I love Seattle +3 this weekend.
Yeah.
I do. All right. Let's keep moving to grooving. Got to say, I hope this portion of the show loses. I'll be fading both of these. Good luck, Snacks. Somebody's winning.
Probably not you.
Probably not Snacks, but that's okay. We still love them. Chiefs, +1.5. If I see one more clip on my feed of an NFL analyst roasting this Chiefs offense, I'm going to lose my mind. Have some respect for Patrick Mahomes and have some respect for Andy Reid. People are giving up after a Super Bowl loss and a Week 1 loss. Goodness gracious. Give them a fucking break. And Jovan, you're telling me with all the injuries they're dealing with right now, and the Eagles coming off that big Week 1 win that people are acting like matters when they actually look like shit, and their defense looks like a problem, the Chiefs open up a favorite in this spot. And everybody and their mother's locking in the Eagles to run it back. Guys, this is a Super Bowl rematch. You don't need to overthink this shit. Take the Chiefs. Take the +1.5. You know Mahomes is a sucker for a close game. So if it goes down to a fucking 2-point conversion late or some sort of game-winning kick, I want the point. I'm holding on to it for dear life here. Give me the Chiefs. It's nasty. Who wants to bet on them right now after how they looked over in Brazil? Nobody. They get their lick back against the Eagles. Maybe there's a reason the Chiefs look like shit over there in Brazil. Maybe Andy Reid's got bigger games on his mind. Maybe he's got revenge on his mind. You ever think of that? I did. They get their lick back. Don't give up on the Chiefs. Have some respect for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Sick of the doubters.
Yep. I've kind of been, I don't know, I've gone back and forth all week, but the more I see some Eagles and Chiefs hate, the more I'm kind of starting to swing your way.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in.
They're going to make Jalen Hurts beat them through the air. It's probably not going to work this time around.
Yeah. No, Trent, you better not sit this game out. It would be unbelievably soft if you sat this game out.
Just take the Eagles, brother, and move on. Okay? Please.
We'll be good.
All right. G-Men.
G-Men, one of the more popular dogs of last week. I mean, I probably saw this more than maybe any dog against your Commanders. I didn't really disagree with it, but I didn't get involved.
Yeah.
But now it's a very similar line, or at least started as a similar line on the road against the Cowboys. And what do you know? It's starting to tick down to 5 now.
Wow.
I told you what I think Russ is going to do to this defense. And, that no Deron Bland certainly helps. And I think the matchup, you already saw what the Cowboys did against Jalen Hurts. The fact that you have some tape on that, you can prepare for that now, also helps after an absolutely abysmal offensive showing against the Commies. But this is the one I think you get. I think this game, at the very least, is going down to the wire. But I think the G-Men are going to win this game. Very rare. Probably one of the only time the Giants are going to appear on anything related to meat, unless I'm fading them all throughout the year. I think they beat Dallas in Dallas for Jerry to see in his house.
Wouldn't that be something? I'm so in. Cowboys will be one of the more popular survivor picks of the weekend because people are going to think they're being sharp, saying, oh, well, they still lost, but they should have won that game. And the Giants are terrible. Good fucking luck with that. Good luck.
Especially after the couple, I guess the big two came through last week for survivor bettors.
Yeah, all the square plays came through. Yep.
Yeah. That's why the Fugazi was at
week 2. Yeah. Still didn't hit. Hilarious. But it was a tape. Yep. All right. Let's keep moving to grooving. We are running out of time here, and I believe Trent is doing the third stream today. W's. Couple nasty squares for you guys. Sorry, Jovan. If you're fading Bill, I'm fading Buck.
That's fair.
To be done.
That's
personal.
Fair.
Josh Allen, less than 1.5 passing touchdowns. What if I told you after he turned into Jesus Christ himself against Goots' Ravens? What if I told you Josh Allen, after throwing, 4 passing touchdowns last week? What if I told you the under is juicy on the Bucs against the Jets defense that gave up 43?
He had 2 and 4 total.
Yeah, you're right. Good call. Good call. The chart is very green. 4 out of 5 are green bars on the chart. And he's facing a defense that just gave up 43 points. Got a weird feeling Josh Allen does not throw for 2 passing tutties in a game that I think they might lose, in a game I like the under in.
Yeah.
Right?
What did you say? You said this one's juice the under?
Yeah, on the Bucs, which is crazy.
That's crazy because against the Ravens, it was juice to, higher scoring game script, but not by much.
Sure.
It was juice fat to the over.
Sure. Well, to a simpleton or a peep brain, looks like a very easy more than. Not only on the square, but the over in the game. That's why your under's going to hit. Knock on wood. Okay? Would be goated. And then Bucky Irving. This looks like the easiest more than in this category, and I'm a sucker for fading squares in this category. Bucky scored last week. Bucky has a very green history if you look at that chart. And unfortunately for Bucky, he ain't running one in. I think this game is a snooze fest. I think this game is going to be an under. And like I said before, Jovan, I'm with you. We're fading your Bucs this weekend. We're taking the Texans. And as the total drops down to 42.5 and the Texans move up from -1.5 to -2.5, I'm not seeing many touchdowns at all for the Bucs. And if they score at all, it's going to be from Baker, not from your guy Bucky in this one. Texans aren't letting him get in the end zone here. Give me the less than half a rushing receiving touchdown for Bucky Irving. Looks like one of the easiest more thans on the board this weekend.
I'm down. So down.
We got a steak resub. Let's go, steak. Attaboy. Attaboy. Steak, what are you on tonight, my man? Commanders or Packers? Need to know as we go over Jovan squares here.
I'm firing up AJ Barner this week. Line's been bouncing around 55 different places, so God knows where it ends up. But I want him, even though we don't love points in this game. Last week, one of the reasons why I was in on him before the season, so nothing has really changed from week 1 was what I saw. But I was super encouraged by the fact that he was out there as much as he was, 85% of snaps. We talked about that the other day. And he honestly got open a lot. If you watch the film of that game, go PPL 22. There were a couple miscommunications where Darnold, there's one play specifically where he expected him to come sit down in the middle of the zone, but he kept going. So he got open a lot. He didn't really feed him the ball, and it was a weird game script. And he also had like Fred Warner on him. So like Fred Warner is one of the tougher matchups for tight ends all across the league. So like now in this this offense and this game plan where I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball extremely effectively. I think you're going to have to utilize play action, and this is where I think the tight end usage in a Kubiak offense gets to its peak when you're facing a tough run defense where you need that element to it. And AJ Barner is a yak machine too, big missed tackle guy in college, and I think you're going to have to see that in action this game. And I think he's going to be a big time weapon. He didn't do anything in week 1, and now not only does he have the receiving yards up, but 15 other squares, including like a longest reception, which is crazy if that's up for AJ Barner, but he's grubbing.
Yeah.
The Cam Ward, one of the other quarterbacks that got sold by his receivers, Dak style in that game, and also just faced a super tough defense. And the Rams defense looked fucking great against the Texans. And again, similar to like CJ Stroud, he struggled against a really good pass front in the Rams. And now like you can prepare for it. You can cook it into the offense. I think the same goes for like Cam Ward. You just saw what the Rams front did to CJ Stroud and the Texans. So like now you're probably going to build in some shorter concepts, which he wasn't bad hitting the more complicated ones. I think you're probably going to try and open him up with a shot first, but I think it's going to be a lot more underneath for him to deal with. Maybe that's Tony Pollard again, or maybe it's just some of the other wide receivers running shorter concepts, not trying to beat man like consistently down the field, which is stupid from a game plan perspective. So now I think he goes off, even if they're probably losing the game, which they will.
Well, I think they cover at least.
Yeah, they might cover.
After the embarrassing coaching performance.
Yeah,
Week.
I don't think they'll be in a winning game script.
Okay.
For long, if at all.
Okay.
To help this, of course.
This could be the big Chig game. 2025, yes.
Yeah, it should be a big Chig game. I think it's Chig. Calvin Ridley's probably going to get his lick back after those couple bad drops that they're hammering him in the media for. It seems like every other hour I see a different clip of him talking about it. Like everything's set up well.
Yep. Agreed. W squares. Love it. Great work. AJ Barner and Cam Ward. Chat saying those are some ugly squares. Music to our ears. Good. Yes, they are.
A little bit.
You're right. Ugly squares hit. All right. W's. Some honorable mentions here for the NFL this weekend. I like the over in the Browns and the Ravens game. I think Joe Flacco's got some magic left in him. Maybe they don't win, but they probably cover. And I like the over in that game. I think we see points between Cleveland and Baltimore, and I think Baltimore keeps their foot on the gas, and they end up winning this game. But I don't think it'll be a blowout until the second half later on. But again, that Ravens team is going to play pissed off, and that smells like points to me. And their defense has some work to do. And Joe Flacco is he might be heaven sent. He might be an angel. He might be walking on clouds. Yeah. And his story is not yet written. He's not done. He's going to do something against his old team here. Bengals money line. I hope it comes down to 3. One of the more public dogs of the weekend is the Jags, and I certainly want to fade them if we can get them at a reasonable price because the Bengals are not losing that game after they should have lost week 1. I had the Giants +5 on here. That's no longer an honorable mention. You brought it up. Great take. The over in the Giants-Cowboys game, same thing. Great take there. I am so aligned with you. Love the Jets +6.5. Love the Jets +6.5 this weekend. I think they cover and maybe even win and shock the world and get their lick back after blowing that game against the Steelers in week 1. The Raiders +3.5 on Monday night. We'll have more time to talk about that, but I do think the Raiders cover that game and they get a fat, happy, complacent Chargers team. If you go look at Prize Picks, you'll see some of Herbert squares look a little disrespectful and Geno squares are crazy high. So we're at least getting points in that game. I like the over as well, over 46.5, but I certainly like the Raiders to cover as well.
Sure. I don't have too many honorable mentions other than I didn't know we were going to Monday, but the Bucs aren't winning.
Okay.
Save it. Okay.
All right. The Bucs are not winning, folks. Could not agree more. All right. Why don't we go ahead and hop in and do a little squad ride action? And maybe we have time to do all 3 squad rides here since we have about 10 minutes. You guys in?
Yep.
Goots, run that shit. I'm trying to see that train. All right, chat. Let's fucking cash the squad ride today, please. Please. Jovan, we did a lot today. We talked about college football. We talked about NFL. Time to reset the brain, go back to tonight's plays. I think we could get started out with Wake Forest +7.
Of course. course.
Has to be done. Little consensus quake there. Wake Forest +7. What else? I feel like we got to leave the Commanders out. Thanks, Trent.
I mean, Krabs, like if you're dropping meat, you're saying the win of this game. I don't want to hold you
Meat
back.
is gone.
To the Trent.
Meat's gone.
No way, meat's gone.
Meat's gone. I'm still betting it.
Meat is gone, dude.
Jovan, it's his system play. He loses 70% of his bets. You're telling me we're gonna fucking put that in the squad ride poll? It's gonna win. No,
man.
Meat's
I'm
gone.
just like, I don't disagree, but like I know it's different because he tails my plays more than yours. But like he was dropping me for like the Bucks and the Surge last week, and for TCU because I was nuking them, and I told him they weren't losing for weeks.
Dude, he drops meat for every play. And every play is a 10-unit Mega Maxer. Like his 10 units is now just his 1 unit.
I still love the play. I already took him. I would still take him. Take him on the spread. Take him on the ML, whatever the fuck you want to do. Let's leave them out of the poll.
Unbelievable. I'll respect it.
Let's leave them out of the poll.
I'll tip cap.
Are we taking the Angels or the Angels Mariners first 5 under? Because I think the Angels Mariners first 5 under is hitting.
Yeah, I like the Angels better, but I'm down to ride with your angle too. I can
You want to put both in?
No, we'll put the first 5 under in. That's where we get one on me.
All right. I think we get 2 plays, 2 winners, and we keep your Yankees play out of it. You son of a gun.
Dude, the Yanks are scoring 5, Krabs.
Not if I take them.
The Yanks are scoring 5.
Would it kill you to put an under on the card, man? I'll say it.
Dude, what do you mean, Krabs? I have an under on the card. Bill rushing yards. He ain't getting 41.
No, that's a less than.
Just
put him in because I see your confidence and I respect you. But I fucking hate that play. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing.
Unreal.
Let's get 3 plays, 3 winners. 3 plays, 3 winners.
Forgot the day it is too.
Sure.
Good Yanks narrative.
Sure. God, so much bitching in the chat, man. An incredible amount of bitching. It's unbelievable.
To be fair,
it's unbelievable.
Still think we should be aligned on Wake, and that is probably.
I mean, for the love of God, take Wake Forest in the squad ride, please.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Now we're just gonna get a meme Yankee squad ride. Great. This is why the squad rides don't hit at 60% anymore, folks. Because we're out here to meme, and we're out here to get me to bet on the fucking Yankees. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Shit pisses me off, man. Take Wake Forest in the poll. We both have it in the fucking sharp reports. What are we doing? Do you guys want to win or do you want to make memes and jokes? I don't get it. Oh. Take Wake. Let's hit a fucking squad ride. Goodness gracious. Come on. Come on. I mean, yeah, Nervy Chad, it's probably going to fucking hit.
Yeah.
Especially if I talk about Aaron Judge not hitting a nuke tonight.
Why would you even say that, Krabs? Like what?
Fuck it.
Why? Why do you do it to yourself?
Fuck it. Well, let's talk about the Saturday squad ride for college football here.
Yes.
You got some good options. Okay. You don't want to talk about Aaron Judge not hitting a nuke tonight?
Krabs.
Okay.
There is 20 racks on the line here. And we're just playing with it.
Okay. Get those poll votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. We got a lot of votes today. Vote for Wake Forest, you scumbags. Vote for Wake Forest. Vote for Wake Forest. Go. No. It's a fucking meme. I'm going to start picking the play myself. It's a meme.
Oh, my God.
It's a meme.
We're risen.
Unbelievable.
How about this? If Yankees don't score 5 and Wake hits, you get a full pass to pick the ride next tree.
No, if the Yankees doesn't hit and Wake Forest does, you're not allowed to take an over for a week.
A week?
Yep.
A week is too much, for all overs is absurd.
Week.
For a whole week. And we're just losing out on coin, dude.
We're not, though, because the overs don't hit. So.
What do you mean, Krabs? The White Sox scored 5 runs in the second inning yesterday.
Don't even get me started, bro.
5 runs in the second inning.
Don't even get me started.
The Nats team total, they had 2 touchdowns.
The overs that don't get voted the squad ride, those lose. Or the ones that
overs that are in the squad ride poll lose every time. The overs on the side.
How about you take them out of the poll?
Guys, I'm just telling you how it is. Overs in the squad ride poll don't hit. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You want me to lie? They don't hit.
Poll.
Calling it how it is. They don't.
Still taking them. You can leave them out of the poll, though, for a week. Compromise.
No overs for a week. That should be the rule anyways, to be honest with you. But we'll see how the Yankees team total over plays out. Sure. College football squad ride. I want the under in Minnesota and California.
Wow. Late night under. I'm in. I'm so in.
You got to play you love on Saturday?
I mean, I would also love to put, of course, the meat, double meat in there, Vandy and Duke. And then I would also like that Georgia under.
Okay.
Unless you're 2 out on that.
Meat and unders? Sign me up. You kidding me?
Unders.
Dude, you don't got to tell me twice. Come on now. We'll go Vandy, we'll go Duke, and we'll go both unders. Minnesota Cal under and Georgia Tennessee under. Hurry up, go, go, go. 2-minute poll. Hurry up, go, go, go. 2-minute poll. Hurry up. Hurry up. And while they vote for this, and the 4 plays are Minnesota Cal under, Georgia Tennessee under, Duke plus 1.5, and Vanderbilt plus 4.5. Let's go and get our options for the NFL Sunday. Squad ride.
Yes.
Giants plus 5.
Yep. Fire up the G-Men.
Steelers team total under.
Yeah. I feel like that has auto submissions.
Love those plays a ton. We could keep it simple. I do think the Chiefs are winning that game.
Really?
But if you want to go 1-1, keep it simple.
I'm never holding off from you putting your meat in there in the poll.
Chiefs are winning that game.
Go ahead.
I think we keep it simple, though, and go 3 plays, 3 winners. Unless you got something else you just are going to lose sleep over. And if you do, I'm all ears.
No, because I guess we got Seahawks backing in there. I probably would have said that, but we already got that. I'm good with those.
All right.
No double
We got
reverse.
3 plays, 3 winners for the NFL.
Reverse. No triple reverse in there? I forgot about that.
Let's let that splooge off to the side silently.
Dude, the triple reverse not getting a bid?
I didn't think you liked it. I'll be honest.
I mean, I don't really have too much of an opinion on that game. It wasn't that I didn't like it one way or the other. Like, I kind of trust the triple reverse.
All right, let's put him in. I love the play.
Especially being that I now have the Saturday squad ride.
Okay. Let's put it in. Squad ride is the under in Georgia for Saturday.
Yep.
W's. We got a 4-team poll here for Sunday, guys. Lock in. We got one more poll for you guys. Giants plus 5. Steelers team total under 20.5. Chiefs plus 1.5. And Patriots plus 1.5. W. Goots grinding back there. He's probably sweating, getting all these fucking plays up in the poll. Goots or him. Goots or him. All right? We can do an unofficial CFL squad ride, Madole. Let me know. Let me know. We do have 2 Monday Night Football games, yes. Somebody has not looked at the slate until right now.
Just took Trent until right now to figure that out. Okay.
What are we doing?
Okay. Yeah, he's down right.
Get involved, chat. Hurry up, go, 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 go. Hurry up, go, 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 go. Hurry up, go. Dude, we got 4 plays, 4 winners. Giants plus 5. Steelers team total under 20.5, which is getting the least amount of votes, but it's probably my most confident play. Chiefs plus 1.5, and the Patriots plus 1.5. Hurry up, go, go, go. Hurry up, go, go, go. Get involved. Get involved. Reeve Trees thinks every play is just a personal attack on him and thinks that we're fading him, even though he's not that important. And we're actually just taking our favorite plays. When will we learn?
Favorite plays, dude.
When will we learn?
Your team's getting bet against. Your team ain't going 17-0. I hate to break it to you. Team ain't going 17-0. Your teams ain't going 162-0. Let's be adults.
There's only one team that could go 17-0 this year. It's the goddamn Commanders.
And we lost. We lost.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Not even the Trent Hex can kill the vibes for me tonight. I'm so stoked.
Krabs,
Let's fucking go, Mandos.
What are you doing, man?
Let's fucking go, Mandos. Let's read some of these comments. Let's read some of these comments I'm getting. Pack ain't losing. Pack in a blowout versus the most overrated team in football. What else we got here? There's got to be more. There's got to be more hate. Go, Pack, go. GD5 plus money, sure. Skins on a regression year, bud. Now, that one's just primer, so you can't really take that for anything there. But a lot of hate on the feeds about the Commanders tonight. Interesting. Interesting. All right, we're going triple reverse fade. Patriots plus 1.5. W's.
Triple
All right.
reverse.
We're already over. Trent, I'm sorry. Stick around for the Surge stream, guys. And we're going to play this Pickett video in between. If you don't mind, Goots, can we play this puppy? And then Trent will fire it up on the Surge stream. W's. Okay. Goots cannot do that. I don't know why, but that's okay. Chat, stick around for the Surge stream.